Top of the morning, top of the morning to you. Yeah, I really mean it. Top of the morning. I literally just woke up probably like 15, 20 minutes ago or whatever. I've been sleeping more lately. That's why I've been taking off and I had some other things going on or whatever in my personal life. You know, here on this podcast on YouTube, I keep this right here separate from my regular life. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. You won't, many times you won't often hear me on here, talking about shit that got to do with my personal life. Nor do I, really. Mm, I talk about that another time. I'll talk about that another time. Because yeah, I'll take about that another time. But anyway, good morning to all y'all. Just now tuning in, I appreciate it. I'm sitting here, I'm eating me some yogurt, waking up. That's about it. A whole bunch of shit been going on though, man. A whole bunch of stuff been going on. I'm not gonna get on here and complain, but in between some things with me, I caught somebody the other day talking about me, and it took every inch of me not to say something. And I'm gonna tell you why I didn't say something. The reason I didn't say anything on that podcast because I know that's exactly what they were looking for, and I was like, nah, nah. You ain't getting that reaction out of me. I went to somebody's little private space, and they were over there talking shit about me too. Very subtle reference, but still, nevertheless. And so, I just want to highlight on the one conversation, one person in there, and evidently you follow me, so I'm hoping that you hear this. There's a whole bunch of people that don't like me that follow me, which is the weirdest shit ever. Like, if I got a personal issue with somebody and we following each other, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? I expect that nigga to peep what I'm saying to them or that chick to peep what I'm saying to them, and that's another thing. There's people out here that inject themselves into other people's situations and you know what I'm saying? And like that shit is just weird for me. Like I don't like people and I'll give you an example. I've had people talk about me. Before I get into all these subjects and topics, I just want to talk about this. This is my podcast. I can talk about what I want to. Before any of these newcomers that have like been sparking up in the past couple of weeks, and I notice a lot of y'all podcasters are now mimicking, may I say, repeating the same words I've been saying for weeks now. Now y'all saying it, weak motherfuckers. Anyway, yeah, they are. They're slow. They're slow. That's the one reason they couldn't win the war because they're too slow. You win a battle, but you won't win the war. They're slow. They catch up on things weeks later when you talk. When I've been talking about them, you don't believe? Go back to my podcast and listen. You'll hear echoes of what I said months ago now being said now. Oh, you know what? It ain't that big of a deal when he say it, but when such and such say it, you know what I mean? Like D.L. Hewley can go on TV, and everybody knows D.L. Hewley is a shield. You know what I mean? That's a shrill if I ever see one in my fucking life. And that shrill motherfucker sits up there. Oh, you know Joe Biden. Lord, 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 Joe Biden. And Donald Trump is terrible. He might be, but I bet my money on him versus the ex segregationist that you're promoting, motherfucker. Joe Biden's an ex segregationist, ex Dixiecrat. You don't know the terminology? Look it up. That's why I almost laugh when black women, especially, tell us to vote for this motherfucker. I'm like, do you know what this motherfucker did against black women and and his whole tendency? How come there's no actual intelligent black women that actually telling other black women this shit? This motherfucker has a quote that is taken from multiple different publications that you can go research, and it says quite clearly, if my kids went to school with minority kids or black kids, to be more specific, it would be a racial zoo. This was his response and remarks on integration. I heard one of your favorite black female podcasters that y'all put all y'all faith in. Know what I'm saying? Cheryl. Cheryl. I heard that goofy shit you said. Cheryl, listen, I know you listen to me and you watch me. You see them numbers, right? I get you. But listen what I'm trying to tell you, Mom. You said out your own mouth. Politics ain't your thing. Stay the fuck out of politics. You don't know anything about politics. You don't have any political friends. And the difference between you and I is I don't work political campaigns. I worked the Right to Vote campaign 2 times. I've always been a part of those circles that have to do with politics or whatever. I know some very, very influential individuals that happen to be in multiple different municipalities across the country. You know what I'm saying? As a result of people I know. So, one thing I'm saying to you, yesterday, you cracked the horn when you said to your audience, and I repeat, I'm still going to vote for Joe Biden. I have my own personal reasons. That's what Cheryl said. She said over there, Cheryl. Cheryl said, I'm going to still vote for Joe Biden. You're going to still vote for him, huh? And so will a whole bunch of the other gals. They're going to vote for him too. And they're going to advocate for you to do the same thing for them. Let's get Joe Biden back in office. And I ain't saying Trump the best thing either, but I definitely ain't voting for no segregationists. That motherfucker's too easy to forgive, niggas. So like, fuck all that shit. Or that forgiveness shit. What's up, big? If somebody would, we're gonna put in some efforts, and we're gonna try to see if we can do another little one of our trips. Now, I want to do this today, so I need y'all help, and I hope that y'all, and shout out to the 2 people that's logged off, because they mean I'm gonna find out who you are. That means you're worthless and you're not part of this community over here that we built, that I actually put in work on foot. Like, if this is your first time here, I don't do podcasts like this. It's early in the morning. I don't feel like being on camera, and I'm not appreciated enough. The other day, these guys, I told them, I said, this was when Trump had first Trump had first been reported that he had the issue going on with him, and and that would be the attempted assassination or whatever. And I think I was amongst the first to report on that. I had to be at the time because I caught it in real time. And then shortly after that, the next morning, I had to check out things first. But next morning, I reported live from Trump Tower for you guys with the rest of the press in the press area that was specifically designated all for us by Trump Tower. And if you wasn't part of the press, you could not be in that area. Let that be noted. So, just like other things that I've done, as far as bringing real journalism here versus and other things inclusive of the Jonathan Majors trial. I covered that. I covered the Trump trial partially. So this is not my first time around. I'm gonna be chopping up some other stuff that I've been working on to throw up for you guys, both past and current, about my longevity dealing with these subjects. Not just sitting in a studio or sitting in my bedroom, but actually getting on foot. And I thought that's what it is. See, up here in the Northeast in New York City area, we like to work for our money. Work for us means getting off your ass and going outside and moving around and seeing what you can get and gather. Work for people in the Midwest and California and some other locale seems to be getting up, regurgitating information that's already out there, being lazy, sitting in their bedroom night after night after night, doing shifts of doing with other podcasters, doing shifts, like literally shifts. These motherfuckers are now doing shifts in their bedrooms, partnering up with other YouTubers. You won't see me do that either. I don't partner with any of these YouTubers. Nah. And I'm now becoming weary of these subscribers too, because I don't like people that are too prying. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Some people are just a little too prying, a little too interested in other people's lives. Like, like if I meet you or I know you or something like that, I'm not looking for you all over throughout the internet and see what your digital imprint. I don't give a fuck. And but a person that does do that, usually that leads to some type of mental instability. And I think we're seeing more and more of these mental instabilities within the desperations. Because a lot of these podcasters now are desperate. Oh, they're heavily desperate. You didn't know these motherfuckers are desperate as hell right now. Oh, they try to hide it, play it off, bro. These motherfuckers are desperate. Trust me. Because they're realizing what I've been telling them for months. You can't just keep on carrying on doing the same shit you were doing last year. See, a lot of them came in these podcasts. I'm gonna continue. We got a lot to talk about here, yo. Guys, so don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. But I had told and I had said this, and this is why I like quoting myself more than anybody, because I don't fuck with other podcasters. Other podcasters to show me. I got one podcast that went as far as because something he heard from me about me or a preference he had for somebody else over me because of that person's they perceived popularity. He unsubscribed me from his channel. I was like, oh shit. I mean, after years being at his channel. And it's no way you could tell me within the years that I've been at your channel, you didn't know who I was or you didn't recognize me. Now, one time in the 5 years I had been on that person's channel, or it was more than 5 years, but all the years I've been on that person's channel, he would recognize strangers before he would recognize me that was there every week after week after week. So I probably after the second week, I said, well, I can value the information that's on the show. I just don't have to speak anymore. And so I subsided in speaking to this podcaster, but make no mistake about it. Just like you see your chat room, if you streaming, they see their chat room. And so I was bothered by that, but this is wasn't just with this podcaster. I had seen this with multiple um I'm gonna say minority podcasters where they have their picks and shrills of who they do and don't talk to. And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. No problem. We won't be doing that over here. As I get bigger and bigger, trust me, all that typical shit that you see from these podcasters when they start getting all cocky and trying to act like they running a real media company and shit. We don't do that shit over here. We don't do that over here. Nah, I never will. Half of these podcasters, what you have to realize is, say what you want to say, but what you have to realize is there is a jealousy factor. I don't care if it's some of your biggest podcasters, it doesn't matter. They don't have access and they didn't get into areas that I got into, and they won't. You know, I had a guy the other day that claims he don't like nothing about me or my style or whatever, but you threw in a quirk within your motherfucking within your fucking diatribe that you took from me. Oh, I was about to go down there. You was about to go down there and do what? Film what? What was you gonna film? Huh? So what they do is, the same thing they'll chastise you for, try to talk shit for you for 5 minutes later, they try to do the same thing. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of these motherfuckers, they gonna find out by the time they real start doing things. Cause you try to fuck me over, I'm gonna show you. Him small, but I'm big. You see what I'm dealing with? Him small, but I'm big. For real. Where's she? Where's she? I had somebody literally call the police on me. Do y'all know that now? Stemming back, what was that, about a week ago for some of you guys? And they did it, same thing. I didn't bother nobody, ain't say nothing to nobody. No, when I talk to a motherfucker, I talk to one person, and that's it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's it. I don't have to include your whole crew, whatever. I don't have to, but if your crew want to get involved in it, that's on them at that time. you know. So I want to make sure, because I had, once again, there evidently little contingencies of folks that are, and particularly it seems to just be females, you know what I mean? And I want to say one more time, and I've said this probably, I don't know, 100 times now. I'll say it 101 times, but I have to, and I'm going to stick by this, and I'll stay adamant about it. And you keep it tucked up in your sleeve for later. I am not scared. I had 3 police pull up on me with guns drawn because of y'all niggas here on the internet, and they thought I was up out of here. I settled that shit and got that out the way in 4 minutes and went back live. Shout out to the New York City Police Department for knowing when they see hear some crab shit and they smaller than that. You understand what I'm saying? Shit, don't they really came down to was I'm an owl who? You understand? Fuck you he's talking. Shit is funny to me. But yeah, that happened to me. I had some YouTubers. First they were threatening me in my chat room, and then it was I know where he's at and all this shit, whatever, whatever. I this listen, keep that same conversation going when I'm over in Marcy. All right, that's the setup. When I'm over in Marcy, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to be like, yo, he over here, and I want you to pull up. Don't send the cops. I want you to pull up. All right, by yourself, by yourself, by yourself. It was 1 of 3 people that was responsible for this. And as of right now, it's been going on almost a week now. I've been having correspondence with the New York City Police Department, but there's only so much they could do before we have representation actually ascertain it for them. So I'm at the process now where I have to have representation ascertain some things for me. I cannot do it as a sole citizen for whatever reason. So we had to do it that way. So it's request and procedure and all that shit or whatever. But we're gonna find out who you are. Oh, I find out who you are. I always find out who you are. And once I find out who you are, I may or may not keep it to myself. But what I want to let y'all know is the same way y'all saw that assassination attempt on President Trump, the same thing happened to me prior. Niggas was trying to get me killed. You understand what I'm saying? And they didn't think that I was tactical or smart enough or ahead of the game to not realize what was going on. I said that when I put the nigga on camera, he was standing right in front of me. I said, "Oh yeah, something funny." And niggas trying to set me up because regular nigga was just drawn. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, 10 steps ahead of you. But I told you I was really did this street shit for real. Like, nah, you think I'm Jaguar? Jaguar be telling you a whole bunch of porgy pies. Not me, not me. Anyway, listen, going on. People are now using the internet because that kid Crooks he used the internet, and people are using the internet here specifically on YouTube as a mechanism, to do cowardly, punkish things. That man that you saw take those shots at President Trump, he would have never walked up to President Trump, hands out, fist up, and said, "Let's go at it." Nor would any of the motherfuckers that was online that was calling police on me and hoping that the worst happened. Hoping that the worst happened. What do you think is going to happen if you call the police and tell the police, "Hey, I think somebody out here is armed and dangerous"? What do you think they hoping the results will be? I'll give you a few minutes. What do y'all hope? What do you think they was hoping the results would be? You see what I'm saying? So you can't even get to the point nowadays where you because there were people in my chat room that were talking about it. There's no validity as far as being loyal anymore. There's none of that. People are loyal to themselves. That's the point. Any motherfucker want to see me or Trump down that sole individual Mr. Crooks that operated thus far alone. They did that for their own pleasure. It's a sick individual right there. That leads to so many other things. You know, Jeffrey Dahmer, he used to like to see animals harmed. You know, he used to like to harm animals, and took took very much pleasure in watching their demise as they slowly evaporated from the life within them. There have been other people that dislike Jeffrey Dahmer that prefer to watch torture and things like that as a mean and a recourse for relaxation, such as one. His name is Caligula. You ever heard of that? Now that motherfucker. Now Caligula used to sexually assault his victims. And he built all kinds of torture devices to slowly impale them or poke at their sexual organs and all kinds of shit like this. Caligula, Grecian ruler. Or Roman. Was he Roman or Grecian? One is a very big difference. Same territory, different elks. It's the difference between the Roman and the Grecian. Very big difference. But anyway, either one's of such it was. He's written in history. You can look him up. Caligula. Won't be hard to find. Romulus. He was known for his sexual endeavors. A couple African kings too, if you want to get into that. And you think he's so pure. Shit, the Africans mimicked the fucking Greeks for the most part at one point. They did all the debauchery that they did. And at one point in history and time, you will see many relics to mark those Africans being of service and being of God to Greeks and Romans, both. Specifically those of East Africa for some reason or another, in North Africa. Go take a look. I don't know. Shit. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. We got a lot of traitors out here. A lot of people that are watching people. A lot of people that think that they're safe. Because make no mistake about it, they killed Mr. Crooks, didn't they? Got him up on out of here, didn't they? Yeah? And fuck him. They got him right up on out of here. 20 years old. Whatever. Fuck him. That motherfucker had intention. He deserved to go. You can have enemies out here and not even know it. That was the point with Mr. Crooks. Enemies can be made based on somebody's actions. And it being unbeknownst to you. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure I get some good people in here. Meaning the fact that if you have people around you, you better be beknowns of what type of people they are. And usually I'm pretty good at that, but I made a mistake and I trusted 2 or 3 individuals from here on the YouTube space that maybe I shouldn't have trusted. You know what I'm saying? For various reasons. And let me put it this way: one of them ain't inclusive of Jaguar, right? One of them ain't inclusive of another blogger. But when I tell you that people will poke hole at you just because who you are versus what specifically your beliefs are. Mr. Crooks was a registered Republican. So why is he popping shots at the #1 Republican candidate just a day before the Republican National Convention? Interesting, huh? And I remember before initially I said, and I said this in front of Trump's house. So, you know what I'm saying? I said, all these people that got these conspiracy theories and everything like that, maybe they're wrong. And I don't believe them. And I think it's about a 50-50 merge. I think it's the lack of what Trump and his team knows. And I also think it's a lack of those that want to see Trump's demise and what they know. I think that we both may be ill-intentionally, let's say this right, ill-intentionally avoiding the very fact is here that it is a hell of a motherfucking coincidence that they take a shot at Donald Trump one day before the Republican National Convention. The person that shoots at him is a registered Republican. Now, on top of that, this motherfucker like the Where's Waldo crowd of fucking Republicans. Second of all, it was only a few days before that boy went and got that gun. Lastly, they killed him as a result. They made sure he was dead. Next thing they do is they make sure to tarnish his name as much as they possibly can, which is very rare for them to do like that. I haven't even seen them do this with. I didn't even see them do this with the Madeline Bay shooter. That motherfucker shot over 500 damn people down there at Madeline Bay Hotel out there in Vegas. There, don't you know? So I didn't even see them bash him that much. They talked about him for 2 or 3 days and then they let it go. I never really talked about the Madeline Bay shooter. Hell, I don't even know if the Madeline Bay Hotel shooter even got sentenced. It's that real. I don't even remember if that motherfucker got sentenced because you never heard no more about him. But this particular motherfucker, I'll give you another example. There was a shooting in Chicago. It was a year, it was Chicago suburbs or Illinois suburbs, but close to Chicago. And there was a white kid, and then he was shooting everybody doing the parade there from the building from high up. He shot multiple people. You barely ever heard a fucking word about him. But this particular motherfucker right here, Mr. Crooks, I always refer to him as Mr. Crooks. I'm not gonna give him the honor of saying this whole fucking name. Mr. Crooks here, he's a different individual because Mr. Crooks here, he stood out because to me, I've never seen so much of a media effort to bash this motherfucker. And this sends back to all the times that I say this first and I say it all the time. White folks know the difference between cheer, which is something that I believe African Americans and Latinos refuse to involve themselves in because it gives them precursors of something else that they try to run away from, but you can't run away from it. And it's called structure. You want to do what you want to do. You can't do what you want to do. It doesn't work that way. Only time you can do what you want to do is when you're trying to get somebody out the way who thinks they can do what they want to do, or what they want to do is heinous to society and to your fellow man. That's what time you get motherfuckers like that out the way. This man chose that Donald Trump fit that formula. He chose that on his own, or he was persuaded or enticed. I heard kids talk about how this kid was when they went to school with him. They said they didn't give us any indication he was on that type of shit. Like we knew he was on some shit, but he was like weird. Like he was sitting by himself. They almost painted a picture for the dude like it was a 19, I don't know, 85 school about the height, like the Columbine shooter or some shit like that. Like it was weird how they told the story about him. The kids were explaining. We said by it was all textbook, you know what I mean? There, and I'm like, I heard this story before. Well, I mean, was it a horror movie? It was some Hollywood movie. I heard this story before. You know, you heard the line before. You know what I'm saying? And so then I started listening to a little bit more of what this one kid said. And he said, "Oh, I was there first place and I watched when the shooting happened. We all yelled to the police, hey, 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 this motherfucker climbing up to the top with a gun." But yet still all the Secret Service there was stand down. They got one video of a chick. This bitch fumbling the gun and shit as she's pulling it out. I said, you could have shot anybody. Like, what the fuck this shooter. Worry about this bitch part of the Secret Service. This bitch, she was literally fumbling the gun, done. She was fumbling the gun. Like, when I say fumble, like a football, and you dropping that motherfucker on the 1 yard line. This bitch was fumbling the gun. Y'all ain't see that video? Oh, I'm gonna post it for you. I got you. The bitch is fumbling the gun. I said, what the fuck? And then you can see other videos of this running around or whatever, whatever, whatever. And it goes back to what I said before. You don't have the same elk of men and women with the same tenacity as you did 30, 20 years ago. These motherfucking men and women are either masculine, incapable of motherfucking really any physical harm to a motherfucking man type women, all feminine ass men who've been raised by angry, bitter ass women. Not to say that all single mothers are terrible, because we know they're not. But at a 60% rate, black, white, Latin, or whoever the fuck else involved in that skew, it's been terrible out here. Y'all done raised some, excuse my French, and I'm not talking about the LBGTQ community either. And even people in there in that community gonna know what I mean when I say this. Y'all done raised some straight sissies. Straight sissies. And I blame some of you men too. When you was at, it ain't your fault if you got a long sentence or whatever. We know all the setback and everything like that. But nigga, if you knew you had a baby coming around, you should have been like, at that point, this is a man. All right, it's time to stop this shit. Or went full throttle with your hustle for the next 6 months and made sure under no means were you buying clothes, jumping in the hotel with bitches. Everything went towards the baby and the baby's future, or buying a business or some shit like that. I know niggas like that. I know niggas that knew they was gonna have a baby. They was like, all right, well, we're gonna put this last 10 months in on the street. And they did it. And make sure to hit that like button, man. Make sure you're also somebody write my cash app in the comments if you could. $sign STRINGERBELL80. We just sitting here having a little discussion this morning, revamping some of the Trump stuff and everything like that. And guys, I'm gonna be talking about Amber and everything else too, and what my thoughts are about that. So if you would, make sure you hit the like button. Also in the description box, there's 4 videos in there that you guys can check out. I made recently within the past day or so and uploaded or whatever, which includes Rudy Giuliani taking a hard fall, which includes the promo video for Amber Rose and her campaign, which also includes Amber Rose saying some things that I kind of understand and then I don't quite understand at the same time. And then a few other things too. So make sure you go to the description box of this video. Those videos are right there. And check them out or whatever the case may be. You can also check them out if you found your way here by the community section. You can click any one of those links. So once again, it's $ STRINGERBELL80. I'm gonna give you a heads up. There's something I have alerts for and schedule for things I get invited out to, or what I'm saying, things my people send me or whatever, whatever. We have a nice tight network. So there's 2 events going on tonight that I would love to be at. Unfortunately, the ways it sits, um, some of it from the evidently, and as I caught the other night, and I have to say it the way it is because they didn't hold no balls when they said it about me. There seems to be back in our contingencies and percentages points that I make. There seems to be a high contingency of African American women who seemingly are racist against everybody under the burnt sun except for them. And then even within their confines, they have excluding factors of other individuals that happen to fit in that demographic. Case may be when I say it this. This is the 4th time I've caught an African American woman either coming and snooping around me or snooping around and saying things that are not true or snooping around and telling people information that could be detrimental to us vloggers. Look, this is how we make our money. And like I said, unlike other vloggers, I actually like move around. Like all you have to do is just go look at the page, and you'll automatically see that everything that I say I'm gonna do, I keep my word to it. Not so much with them other vloggers. These other vloggers, they lie a lot. They create story platforms and narratives just to get cash apps out of you or whatever, whatever. And we just and like this vlogger like myself and others just ask straight up, like, yo, this is what we're going to do. Do y'all want to go do this or not? That's fine for me. But all the you gotta build up stories and we gotta talk down about people that look just like us in order to get some traction or whatever, whatever. And that's what you're telling me the bulk of Black American women donate to. If that's the case, then that means that there's something wrong with Black American women at a standpoint. That means that you just embrace anything that's negative and drama sounding and never embrace anything that's actually, I won't necessarily say positive, but in an opposite direction of what your you know what I mean, your privy is and premise. So, that's what I mean. We got to see more of that. So once again, if someone would write my cash app and hit that like button, $ STRINGERBELL80. And if not, that's fine too. We're not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? I've got a lot of new subscribers here. Welcome to a lot of y'all. If you don't interact, my whole thing is if I don't see you interact and I go check the YouTube studio like daily, I just remove you. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna have people on here because we have individuals now on YouTube. The There's a new business called regurgitation. That's what I like to call it, the regurgitation business. The regurgitation business, I might even add that in here. The regurgitation business is strong on YouTube. That means when you have people like myself and others that are on here, they go out of their way to do research and check out things and be correct about things or whatever, whatever, versus their research. Their research and their receipts is basically, a screenshot or I'm gonna replay that video and get my interpretation of it, and I'm gonna no matter what somebody says, I'm gonna be prepared for it. I'm gonna counter what they say and stop it at a certain point and then play it here and then make it look like this to my audience. So I can sell it to them like this, and I'm gonna take cash apps off of it. Like there's so much attention pointed in a negative space when it comes over there with the African American community. It's pathetic. It's like anything that's negative, anything that's drama born, let's jump on that. And that seems to be the stand place. So I don't count on them too much. They have shown, specifically the women. The women have this eerily weird um, influence over the men, and it all comes from most of the men being raised by single mothers. So you will not find any help with the men. If you say anything about the women, you're trying to call out their behavior, whatever. The men are so hypnotized by these women because a lot of them are weak, so they depend on these women. They can't get by their day without depending on these women. You understand what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna lose a few there. That's okay. You're the exact bitch I'm talking about. That's why you left. Oh, you heard me correctly. If you ain't talking about that type of person, they never get offended. They don't know some people like that, they never get offended. I know some people that are fucked up, probably more fucked up than the people you think I'm talking about with you. But you know the difference between them? They know they're fucked up. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Once again, if you could, write my Cash App in a comment and we can get the speaking and all that. Other than that, I will not recognize you if you've heard me 3 times say, write my Cash App, and you want me to acknowledge you before I acknowledge myself. Motherfucker, I don't know you. So once again, it's $STRINGERBELL80. You can't write that, that's cool. I'm just proving my point day after day after day here. And I don't have too much of a tolerance for new subscribers. To be quite honest with you, I don't prefer new subscribers. New subscribers in 2024 come from anywhere. A lot of times, too, new subscribers are the ops or working with the ops. A lot of times, new subscribers find themselves vicariously to you because they like what you're saying and they get into they into the regurgitation business. So they'll grab little bits and parts that they like from you, even down to the way you dress. I had a man that literally tried to emulate to his audience that he was wearing the same motherfucking jersey I was, right? But it wasn't the same jersey, homie. It wasn't the same jersey. You understand what I'm saying? For many reasons. You gonna see at the bottom of my shit say Bad Boy Entertainment. You understand what I mean? That's one. But it's just like they'll grab pieces of your personality, regurgitate it, put it up on their platform. These people are crazy. A lot of them. And I'm starting to see the women within, and I hate to say it, I'm gonna say probably like at probably a 30%. I'm gonna say probably a 30 to 40% with African American women. A lot of those women are really, really mentally gone, dude. And I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I'm talking about completely mentally unstable, crazy, like crazy. I've had black women walk past me and literally start talking to themselves when they get in front of me, or say little small shit or demonic shit. It's like, and I don't know if anybody else hears it or it's just me, but I know what I'm witnessing. Like, if you walk past me, you walk past three white people don't have anything to say, you're on your best behavior. Then when you get in front of me, you start saying like weird shit. Like I've had bitches stop in front of me. The one I get the most is when the bitches will stop, they'll wait and get right in front of me and just start talking all loud on the phone. Yeah, girl, and the blah blah blah. And I'll be like, what the fuck? You wasn't even talking to anybody this 5 seconds ago. That's a weird one. The other weird one is when they walk at you and they literally looking right in your face and then they'll just drop their head down to their phone and just start staring at their phone profusely as they walk past you. That's weird. These are all telltale signs of being antisocial. You understand what I'm saying? Like a bitch gonna start talking to herself because she want to give the illusion that she crazy, so you won't talk to her. Or will you do that with any other? But then I'll turn around and look around the corner, and you'll be talking to a white man, or you talking to this type of man, or that type of man, or whatever the case may be. And so it gets really confusing. A new one that a lot of these so-called educated, these so-called new wave educated bitches that come from households that had free lunch tickets, um, welfare, and only see about $20,000 a year total. These do frame of bitches that they're the most desperate out of the bunch because they have so much to prove to the world in their mind. They have so much to prove to the world. So, like, basically, this batch of chicks, what they do is they make sure that they're extra rude and obnoxious to anybody and everybody they don't find in their elk. And they think that is the normalcy in getting themselves trajectory wise into environments that are condescending of um purity in the financial sense. You have a lot of money. They think that this is the attitude that exists in there. Well, I'm here to tell you it doesn't. And I especially love seeing this as exhibited when I'm in New York versus when I live out here in Connecticut. Because if you know, you know. If you know, you know, it's a big difference. You know what I mean? And that's no insult to nobody. It's a big difference. The landscape being one of them. You know what I mean? And so, and the people. And so, what you might consider yourself rich in New York, we might consider you poor in Connecticut. Most of the time, we consider you poor or nah, I wouldn't trade with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they're gonna look at it. Especially those that were, you know what I mean, been here for multiple generations. They're gonna think that that's just the way people out here think. That's not a shot. That's just what it is. And so, and if you think anything different than that, then okay, hey, that's on you. If you want to argue about it, hey, that's on you. If you get upset about it, hey, that's on you. Still, the fucking fact remains after you get out of your fucking feelings. Get me? The fact remains. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me get some people in here. I got a lot of strange people in here. News to get the spies out of here. We got new subscribers and spies that, unfortunately, let me just share this. I'm gonna get my real people in here. I do not like new subscribers. I really don't. I tell people that all the time. I don't like new subscribers. I'd rather sit. Okay, there we go. I'd rather sit with the subscribers that I've been and had than start getting new subscribers. I don't like new subscribers. New subscribers usually suck. Usually, new subscribers usually already have a pick of who they like. And new subscribers usually don't come and subscribe to you unless you have said something before. And now they want to go regurgitate your ideas. Mostly the ones you will find that will go regurgitate your ideas first will be African American women. The second after that will be African American men that fit into the LGBTQ community. The next will be the third tier of so-called heterosexual men. And then next in line will be Latinos, and it would be like maybe 3 or 4 phrase and tiers with them as well. You know what I'm saying? But I know just based off experience or whatever, in 2024, don't you I'm not the type of vlogger that could count on um, not only African Americans. Well, let me tell you what the lady said about me. I was on that podcast. I never got into that. So the bitch, she said, and that's what I'm gonna call her. I'm call her a bitch because you're a bitch if you run around and you trying to defame somebody or whatever, and you don't even know me. The bitch said, that's all he do is ask for cash apps and that. Then I looked at some of the people she was subscribed to. It wasn't just one, but there's one dude that I particularly, you know what I'm saying, I've been discussing him on here, him and his whole little crew and all that shit. They unstoppable on this motherfucker. Man, you unstoppable until certain things happen. That's what's happening right now. You'll figure it out. Anyway, long story short, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, niggas be thinking they the man on here. Like, nah, nigga, like, trust me. Like, 10 steps ahead of you. All the time. Anyway, long story short, this nigga, him and I had some words, whatever, you know, it is what it is, but yeah, man, whatever. Mm-mm-mm. You have to watch the women, unfortunately, they're all here on YouTube. They are sneaky, they are conniving, they obviously are voyeurs and watch you in silence. Many of them are sitting in my chat room right now as I'm speaking. As I'm speaking. You understand what I'm saying? And evidently, their main thing to do is to make sure if you're doing more work, this. I think these lazy motherfuckers don't want to do no work, or they want to do the very minimal work they have to do to gain your cash apps and shit like that. So that's why you see them always repeatedly in the bedroom, always repeatedly. You know what I'm saying? Like they really don't want to have to do any real work. You know what I'm saying? Like that day I was over there for the Nas shit over in Queensbridge. Dog, it was 87 degrees outside and it was 104 or something like that in the subways. And I couldn't even get one motherfucker to donate to me to give me something to drink. I said, this will be the last time I do that shit. And I still keep getting these motherfuckers chances. But do you know that a few African American women can gather together in the corner and they could convince a whole entire team? And I'd be like, this is the funny thing. I'm a black woman's son. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a black woman's son. Like my mother's black. So it's even funnier to me and even more so why I say that. Like we are in an age where you literally, and this has happened before. If you look back at Eve, or if you believe in Lilith, or believe in both, or believe in each one individually, if you look just back at Eve and Lilith and look at their stories, it'll tell you the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So only thing I need you to do, man, you don't have to donate nothing. If you want to do something for me, write this in the chat room since you're writing everything else. S is in super, T is in terrific, R is in ready, I is in incomplete, N is in never, G is in great, E is in everyone, R is in ready, B is in boy, E is in everyone, L is in life, L is in life again, 8 is in the number, and 0. That's it. That's all I need you to do. Whoever wants to support after that, they can. I don't beg niggas to support me. If you can't get the point by now, you're slow. I tell you, it's a very simple formula. I ended up spending some of my own money last time. I didn't even get fairly compensated for that. I'll take y'all all around. I know, listen, I know that city like the back of my hand. There's shit there that I know how to take y'all to that y'all be surprised. Y'all want to talk about that Illuminati shit? I got some shit that I could take y'all to that none of y'all know about. But you ain't never been in the circles I've been in, so of course you would know about it. But instead, y'all rather halt me, and people like me because I'm not the only vlogger that's like this. Because I've talked to other vloggers that see the same thing. The way of the fate of the crowds are now, black, white, Latin alike, is they take more pride in endorsing people that do nothing. So basically, the more lazy you are, the less work you do, the more you'll be rewarded. The louder you talk, the more obnoxious you are when you talk, the more you'll be rewarded. As long as we keep the heterosexual men off of talking and calling women bitches and sluts and whores it's okay for LBGTQ men and women to do the same behavior. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Like it's okay to get out here and make fun of men of color who choose to date white women, like Dr. Umar Johnson said. Yet and still, bitch, nigga, we caught you in the airport, you motherfucker switching numbers with a white bitch, you fake fraud ass. Oh, I can't stand this nigga. That's another nigga they need to bury somewhere, dog. For real, like that nigga's a full fraud and he is allowed to get up on these platforms and many other platforms, and then people that are in bigger platforms that are in media, they hold this motherfucker up in the sky, let him appear on Power 105 and everything else. This is a racist separatist. If this motherfucker's name was Grand Wizard Sam, y'all wouldn't be motherfucking interviewing this nigga. But that's who this nigga is. He's basically Grand Wizard Sam, except he's black. This is a separatist. It says stupid ass shit. Like the other day, you said that shit about Drake. Drake 5 years ago. Because I was like, oh, I remember this conversation. Drake said this shit like 4, 5 years ago. So I had to stitch real quick. You know what I mean? Got that out there to the people. Y'all can go catch that right now. But Drake gives his response to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna speak for Drake. Go watch the video. You'll hear it. I put the piece together now 2 days ago. And I think I'm gonna start hounding out on more of these fucking con artists that claim that they're so great. And the only thing at least when I say I'm gonna do what I do, I go do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's a lot of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's all good though. Thank you, Yakub. Yakub donated $8. Yakub, why you couldn't write the cash app though? It's $STRINGERBELL80. I ain't talking no more to somebody into that end. I'm tired now. We go through this every time. I had string y'all before. I told niggas, yo, just donate. The shit is screaming. The shit is literally rocking back and forth. And then niggas will be like, oh, it's the way you talk. It's not what you say, it's the way you talk. Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck you. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't never helped out, you ain't never contributed, you ain't never really engaged on the channel. And then the one time you write a fucking comment, you telling me, trying to, like tighten up my behavior or some shit. Like, shut the fuck up. There's a whole bunch of I believe they have like a black behavioral task force. I heard this one, the fake black behavioral task force. Oh God! Once again, it gets its nucleus from Mammy. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. Torrain and the war on Mammy going on right now. I am part of the war on Mammy. Trust me. Mammy must be taken down. Yeah, I don't fake myself because it's it's crazy because like a lot of these subscribers they don't like people. I honestly and truthfully, you got to understand here, and I understand it. Most motherfuckers, when they tune in the media, they don't tune in the media to see reality. They tune in the media to see a fixation of reality, like a reality show. It's a fixation of reality, meaning like the angles and everything, camera wise, are taken to make it look like you're in a reality based setting. But the reality is the whole shit is scripted. So I think like a lot of these subscribers, as well as the authors who are doing all the, you know what I mean, what we allow and we don't allow, like almost like puppet masters over there at this app's headquarters and many of these other apps headquarters and chiefs and shit like that. I think what they're doing is they set up a condition of, they set up a thing of mental conditioning where you almost normalize certain types of behavior. So, for example, like if it's shitty behavior or just like laughing at somebody when they have a demise, that means if you can get a reaction out of somebody when they stomp somebody's toe with their shoe and have somebody laugh, that means you can have somebody hit by a bus and people will laugh. Well, now you're seeing that because the only thing you have to do is just normalize them gradually. You understand what I'm saying? So first, It's one person stomping on somebody's toe, and then it ends with somebody getting hit by a bus. Same reactions. Now you're being desensitized. And I think this desensitization that's been happening in society for a minute now, whether the caravans be music, the news, movies, whatever, whatever, they all had the conduits. And so I think this is the new one. I mean, the latest one right here where you see what's going on. And, you know, another thing that takes part here heavily on social media is sexism. There's a lot of reverse sexism that goes on. That's why I don't. Listen, I'm hard on a bitch. I let y'all know right now, I'm hard on a bitch. Man, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to a bitch's woes and moes and shit like that all fucking day. Bitch, you want to hear the solutions, or you need a shoulder to cry on. If you need a shoulder to cry on, go get you a puppy or go talk to your little brother or family member. If you want some solutions and let's get to it, you can come talk to me. You know, because bitches be having crocodile tears all the time. I got two sisters, don't you know? Bitches be having crocodile tears all the time. Bitches be having crocodile tears all the time. That's what I said. A lot of these guys, they get online and they talk so nicely about these women and pretend like Dr. Umar Johnson that they care so much about these women. Y'all don't give a fuck about these bitches, or y'all tell them the reality of shit. Y'all tell them the real. See, at least I don't brown nose none of these bitches, and if I did, I probably, because I'm a good looking nigga. I'm good. I'm better looking than all three of these niggas I'm talking about. I know I am. So if I really wanted to, you know what I mean, up the game, I could change it around, be like, oh, I love you bitches, and you women are the greatest, you're queens, and da 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 da. I could scoop money right out of you like them hustling motherfuckers be doing. That's like a nigga that ain't got nowhere to stay at. What you call them niggas, homosexuals? That's like a nigga that ain't got no place to stay at. That's what I'm gonna call it, a lot of these vloggers. A lot of these vloggers is fucking homosexual. Shout out to Zoe Williams for coining that term, which he gets no fucking credit for. That's Zoe Williams' term. That homosexual shit, that's Zoe Williams' words. I was there the night he had that podcast and said the shit for the first time. On that show, it had him, Geoff, Corey was on that show, I think, and it was somebody else. It might have been Bobby over there with him. But I was there on that show that night when he first said that shit. And he was on the phone with that woman. I forgot what that woman's name is. She was a doctor or something like that. She said, I got it. Her final words were, I got myself out of the black business because they had turned their back on her too. That was the last words, and I never heard from her on Zoe's show again because she was giving people solutions. So since I think like a thing that happens in culture and hustle, hustle black and Latin culture, or lean off the lean of black and Latin culture being destitute, needing help and shit, is that they'll apply all these victimhood stances. You know what I'm saying? So now they got the bitches feeling like even if they at top form right now, a hoe could go jump on OnlyFans right now, don't have to sell a bit of Vijay to nobody, just show the Vijay and come off making $1 million by the end of the year if she know how to hustle right. You think I can go whip my cock out right now and make $1 million? I mean, it's $1 million worth of D. Don't get me fucking wrong. I done had some bitches here. Don't you worry about it, sweetheart. Don't you worry about it. There's been others that have been better looking than you. You know what I mean? They can testify. What did he say? They can testify. You know what I'm saying? A la mujer latina. Testify. Pero Jesus. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And many bitches out here online nowadays like to play victimhood as a stance to somehow or another validate them being bullies. And in real life, you know for a fact none of these bitches can whoop you. You know what I'm saying? In real life that. You know what I mean? It's not even the fact of that. It's the fact that these bitches will say some of the most heinous, nastiest, fucking sabotaging shit they can online and then turn around and act like they fucking innocent. And I just challenge the question, okay, well, your innocence is there until somebody catch up with you, right? And then what happens if somebody catch up with you? What happens then? Are you still tough? That's a real question, right? If somebody catches you and they justified in the fuck shit you've been doing, say for the past year, 2 years, whatever, or engaging yourself like a lot of these bitches do. I don't like a bitch like that. A bitch like that, that's the most thirsty bitch. And I had like 4 bitches engage themselves with shit I got going on based on the fact talking about, oh, that's my girlfriend, and it's a boy. You know what I'm saying? Like weirdo shit. Like I had a bitch that didn't even said hi to me before. And on top, actually it was 2 bitches. And I ain't gonna say these bitches' names because I don't like neither one of them bitches. Matter of fact, I wanna like really on some real shit based on one of them. I wanna put something in one of them. But I'm gonna leave that for another time. You know what I'm saying? But bitch, don't fuck with me like that for real, because bitches can get it too. Did I leave that out? Oh, bitches can get it too. Let me find out you had something to do with that cop shit, bitch. It's off with your head. You local. Let me find out you had something to do with that cop shit, bitch. It's off with your head. Think what you want to. I said what I said. Shouldn't have rang your mouth the first time. I wouldn't have even thought of you. But you kept on persistently. And this is another thing, too. I'm going to tell you goofy bitches in New York. Let's go for the goofy bitches in New York. If you bitches keep on financially supporting niggas that live in the West Coast and the Midwest down south, if you bitches keep getting online giving information about motherfuckers that's in New York to niggas that's in the South and fucking West Coast and Midwest and shit like that, bitch, you the ops. You got to get it. That's an APB for New York City, real quick. Spread that around the town for me, all right? Bitches is working with motherfuckers that's from out of state, but ain't supporting niggas that's in the state or in the town. Y'all got to get dealt with. And I don't mean fellas, y'all go put your hands on. Go get the do dirty bitches. That's getting out of control. And that niggas too. The niggas got to get it too. Because there's a whole bunch of punk ass niggas that be online. Let me tell you what these fuck ass niggas be doing. It be punk ass. Let me share this real quick because I offended some. Give me 1 second, y'all. I offended some of the suckers. When I say shit like that, niggas get scared. Only scary niggas call the police. There's times you're justified in calling the police, but if you call the police just on a nigga just to be calling it, like I said, I had 3 cops pull up on me with guns drawn, nigga. Because some people on here that were in my chat room, so they wanted to let me know they were doing it or whatever, and then the person who's talking the most or whatever, or talking about whatever they talking about or whatever, I'm like, yo, this person from New York, how you know what street I'm on right now? And they knew it based off something they saw. So I said, oh, that can only be one of 3 people. 1 nigga and 2 bitches. And I'm telling that 1 nigga and 2 bitches based off that you got the scene. And a couple other people for that matter. And I know who they were working with. That's the funny thing. Cause see, you don't want to get personal like that with me. Cause I take shit like that personal. I start finding out your grandma address, where your niece and nephew stay at, shit like that. You don't want to get into that shit with me for real. And I do the whole crash out and I film that shit. I'm stupid like that, like for real, for real. It like, you know what I'm saying? I will be remembered, trust me. More than the motherfuckers you lost. Allegedly, I don't know what you're talking about. But I'll be remembered more than the motherfuckers you lost. Trust me on that. So y'all want to keep playing them games, we keep playing them games. You know what I'm saying? No problem. Y'all niggas want to act like Crime Stoppers and shit like that. I heard one of the Crime Stoppers units last night doing their podcast. Y'all literally be going over checking niggas as cops. And be smiling with them and everything. Ha 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 ha, key. Some of these podcasters is cops. And I mean literally cops, and been working with the cops for years. Some of y'all haven't you? It's 2 or 3 of y'all come to find out, then gave information to the local Podine before, haven't you? Why did you do that? You did that because why? Tell them. Tell them. If you don't start telling them, I'm gonna start telling them. I'm gonna start telling them. Y'all give me a second for a minute, y'all. Since everybody wanna be cute It's some niggas on here on this motherfucking shit that been talking to the police for years, nigga. Literally been talking to the police for years. Crazy. What time we got here? I don't care what you are. If you can't write my cash app, we don't have any correspondence. Okay, yeah, you're gonna be a problem. Goodbye. I hate when people come in here and say shit like that. Yeah, I'm Russian. I'm this. I'm that. I'm like, all right, welcome. Why the fuck do you think I would want you here because of that? I got friends. I dated a woman from a fool of Israel for a straight year that lived with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think I'm some fucking uncultured fucking prick? I speak two different languages. Like, I don't know what the fuck people do thinking they're talking to. Like, it should be fucking hilarious to me. That's why I don't have like I got my peoples, but most of my people is same people I've been dealing with for like 20 years. They know me, they know how I am. I have very few new friends. And the reason I have very few new friends, one, my personality is strong as fuck. I know it is. You know what I'm saying? The average weak bitch can't take being around me. I don't like weak bitches because I know so many strong women. So I know how to sniff a weak bitch very quickly. You understand what I'm saying? And once I sniff a weak bitch or a troublemaking bitch, which is the two bitches I hate the most, I automatically move myself out of the space. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna probably end up doing something to you, and so or having something done to you, and so like I don't like loudmouth bitches. I just really don't. So when I saw this bitch the other night having a conversation about me on somebody else's podcast, for literally hundreds of people to hear. Tell me, nah, don't donate to him. Da, 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 da. I call that's a bitch just trying to sabotage people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, well, bitch, I ain't never told nobody that about you. And yet the same is still time. This bitch is trying to get the person that she's talking on there to promote her podcast. I can't make this shit up. African American women are trifling as fuck, bro. Like for real. They do all kinds of trifling shit and they doing it along with these LBGTQ men. Now I don't care what nobody says, that's what they doing. And you see example of it and example of it and example. I heard about that shit that happened with old you know what I'm saying, Queen such and such the other day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they meddled him into something. They starting to peep out who you are, aren't they? Huh? Who I said you were 5 months ago. They finally starting to see it, huh? I told y'all about that, but I might throw out one more. I don't know. I said to myself I'm gonna leave him alone because we doing better. We doing better over here than he is. Oh, the numbers is better. I measured one of his videos one day, you know, and then I measured it another day. Then I measured it another day. Then I went over to the other nigga page. You know what I'm saying? Muppet Mouth. And Muppet Mouth, aka Pork Chop, Muppet Mouth wasn't doing much better either. I said, I'm doing better than both of these niggas. So as far as we talking about numbers and shit. Now, if you talking about interaction for the audience and all that, because you can have all that shit. I just wait for my real people to get in here. These suck ass motherfuckers is in here right now. I don't care nothing about these people. These people wait. I just said 5 times for you to write my cash app in there. Based off the fact that they don't know me and most new subscribers are haters, they're not gonna write your cash app because they don't want you to make no money. They hear my voice. My voice sounds like to them it sounds urban. So there's another partition of white and blacks in here and Latinos that don't want you to win because of that. So if you are a man and you're a minority and the darker you are, the worse off it is for you because the pure simple fact there's so much of a hate train, even inclusive of your own fucking women, that it's hard to combat. It's like an automatic hate. So I started being hateful myself. You know what I'm saying? I started being a little racist myself. I said, why should I be conditioned myself to be on my best behavior when motherfuckers acting racist and stupid to me all the time? You know what I'm saying? I walk into rooms sometimes and based off the fact of how I look, not to mention my background or anything like that or whatever. That's why I say any person from that LGBTQ community or any black woman that participates in behavior like this and exhibiting behavior like this is a purity piece of shit. You should be put on an island and the island should be set on fire. That's how I feel. You are a detriment to the culture. You should not be around us. You should not be one of us at all. Those are the real problems in the culture. You know what I'm saying? But I stand where it may be, and I let it fall where it will. I'm gonna stay here with y'all for 20 more minutes, and then I'm gonna get up off of here. Like my rule is, if you can't. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna stay for 20 more minutes. I'm gonna stay for like 5 more minutes. If you can't write $STRINGERBELL80. If you can't write that in the comment section, but you sitting here listening to me and you writing hi and all this shit, I mean, it's exactly what I said. There's a war on niggas out here. And the sad thing about it is, you'll have other niggas that know, but won't help other niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Hence, I try to tell y'all, don't try to be friends with too. The best advice I can give to African American men, young African American men, and older and middle age: don't try to be friends with other African American men. That's my best advice to you. You'll save yourself a hell of a lot of headache. Trust me on this one. If you ain't never listened, I know it don't make sense right now, but trust me, it will. If you ain't been knowing them motherfuckers, don't be trying to make none of these niggas in 2024 your fucking friends. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. The flavor that's in the Kool-Aid that's been thrown in the water is different. The motherfucking shot boosters that the motherfuckers took during COVID has made them crazy. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't noticed that? Everybody says there's been a shift and a difference in the world or whatever, whatever. Yeah, it was that shot y'all took. Thank you, Ahmad. I appreciate it. See, that's what I said. Wait till one of my subscribers get in here. That's all right. We're gonna remove some of these other motherfuckers too. I don't need no niggas like that. I told you a lot of these niggas is in here. They want to be podcasters. They niggas that got podcasts. They want to go over and regurgitate your words on their podcast, shit like that. Mm-mm. You can get the fuck out of here. If I'm sitting there for an hour and 11 minutes, all the motherfuckers is in here. They couldn't support except for this one brother right here, Jakob. And at least Jakob donated. He might not roll my cash out, but at least Jakob donated. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? Once again, guys, we wanted to get the moving today and go around some places and move around and film for y'all. If y'all want to be participant in that, that's cool. If not, hey, you losing out on a lot. You know, nobody knows that city like I know it. That's for one. Number two, I think out to stuff that, and I've had stars on here repeatedly. I've started reserving myself. I'm like, I'm watching niggas this based off their sexual orientation. That alone. This is based off their sexual orientation. So if you're an LBGTQ man, I don't know if you knew this or not, in the African American community, they are held higher than heterosexual men. The women in the culture, they pretty much they don't like their own men, but they will yet and still sit on and complain on multiple programs how the men need to get it together, and it's all their fault and da da da. If you watch the behavior of these bitches, you would understand quite clearly. I was not. You were the only person that donated. Unfortunately, I was just sitting up here talking about that earlier, Mod. I was at a podcast last night. Like, first of all, let me say this much. Fuck, I can put it out there because somebody that's cool text me last night and was telling me condolences. I just had one of my friends that I grew up with. And when I say grew up with, I'm talking about damn near sandbox type shit, you know? I just had him pass away down in Atlanta. He didn't die from any type of sexual transmitted diseases, but still a disease nevertheless, which was cancer. He didn't even hit 50 years old, you know? And I hadn't talked and spoken to him in years. I'm talking about years. Like when I say years, I'm talking about like 20 plus years. We had just lost contact with each other, but I always knew him. He knew my mother, he knew my father partially, he knew my aunt. He lived right next door to my great aunt who had lived in Europe for years, you know? And so him and the family, because some of his family had been military too. I was one particular person in his family that had also had the experience of living in France and living in Germany and Italy for a while. And my great aunt and they used to speak all the time, and that's how I got to know him. And so when I finally got back in touch with him, I didn't know about his cancer. I didn't know anything about any of this stuff. And he slowly began to tell me, yeah, man, and at first I was just like, yeah, man, sure. You know what I mean? Like, nah, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't nothing wrong with you like that. This is recently. And we kept these conversations going for like a year here. And he passed away. I just tagged him. This is the shit that fucks me up. I ever think about like when people are down and shit, I try to make them laugh because I find that laughter is the best thing to help people. You know what I'm saying? And so I tagged him in this. It was like this little fucking corpus little piece they did. It was like little minute reels and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was somebody making fun of the church, and I said, "Yo, this is how we used to be," or something like that. I wrote in the post, and that post was on July the 9th. And so I looked to see who liked it because somebody else liked it or whatever. And I noticed he didn't like it. And he was the first one tagged in it. So I clicked his page. And then I seen all these things on there with RIP, 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 RIP Sammy. And I'm like, the fuck this happened? And come to find out he died July the 6th. And so I talked to one of our mutual friends that had grown up with us. She sent me they buried him like a real African almost. I mean, he had the garb on, the long garb and everything. And yeah, man, I don't know if that's a saying. He had a good sin. I don't even think that's a right thing to say, but the man looked like a prince when he was being buried. He really did. And man, I just found out yesterday, and I was like, yo, that's another one of the, you know what I mean, the real ones right there that just go on, man. You know, and yeah. Even as I'm sitting here talking to y'all, I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, man, my homie, you know what I mean? But I'll say this to y'all, and I'll say this to the men. You have to realize that a lot of these boys that you're gonna call friends or homies or whatever, and I understand this better now that I'm older. You're gonna thank you, Amado. You're gonna realize this. You gotta realize this. A lot of these boys, they were not raised around men, or if mama was a single mother, mama didn't have no brothers, she had a whole bunch of sisters. Mama didn't really have no uncles like that. She had a whole bunch of aunties and a grandma, and grandma wasn't married or whatever. A lot of these boys are raised in these environments. And thus for since they are raised in these environments without the inclusion of any man, even if the dad in there, they partake in a lot of activities. They include themselves in a lot of activities. They are constantly around activities that are surrounding women all the time. You understand what I'm saying? So these men have almost a condescending adoration towards women, almost to a default, even if it goes against men that are around them. You understand what I'm saying? Even if it goes against their own scruples. And this is not just African American men. I've seen white men do this or whatever, whatever, and you'll get fucked up. I'll give you a perfect example of it. Just a little while ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I didn't even talk about this, but about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was out and I was chilling. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was in Brooklyn and I was getting ready to hop on the train. I just left my friend's house. My friend had gave me a beer before I left and shit. And so I was finishing off my beer. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. And as I'm doing that, I'm sitting like y'all know what I'm talking about on the fire drums or whatever. I'm sitting on that and I'm chilling. And I see this girl and this guy, and the dude that just keep jumping in her face. He's a little short, a little short. He had to be Puerto Rican or maybe Mexican, but he was a little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a little nigga. I was like, yo, my nigga, like you. He was trying to act tough. I was like, yo, my nigga, for real. Before you even do what you do, I'm gonna choke you the fuck out. And so I told him that because as I'm walking to him, as he's arguing with the girl, like he keep telling this shit like, shut up, be quiet. And he's telling us some of it in Spanish and some of it in English. So I understand both. So I'm hearing him as he's saying what he's saying. And so as I'm listening to him saying what he's saying, he keeps telling her to shut up or, yo, what's gonna happen or whatever, whatever. And I said, yo, my man, the third time I see him jump in her face really, really like that, I told him, I said, yo, my man, calmate, that means calm down. He said, huh? And so then the nigga started walking towards me. But what I noticed was he had a bottle in his hand as he's walking towards me. And I said, oh, this nigga gonna try to hit me with the bottle. So I was like, yo, before I even get him, get it, you know what I'm saying? let me get prepared. Let me put it that way. I don't want to talk too much on him. Let me get prepared, you know what I'm saying? In case, you know what I'm saying, I got a clutch, you know what I mean? I got a clutch and escape, if y'all dig what I'm saying. I got a clutch and an escape, you understand? Clutch, you know what I mean? And so I grab his arm physically so he can't swing the bottle, whatever, whatever. But he also don't understand where I've grabbed him on his hand. I can control his arm now because my index finger is in a specific place. No matter where he move his motherfucking wrist, I'm now constricting his movement. My man's taught me this shit a long, long time ago, and it always stuck with me. As long as I got control of that little area right there by your motherfucking whisk way, nigga, you can't go nowhere, and I know you can't. If anything, if you move too smooth, you risk being in a whole bunch of pain for a couple of weeks or not being able to use this motherfucker the same way you used it ever again. So I sit up there and I grab his arm. I got his arm held or whatever, whatever. He's like, yo, why you hold my arm? Why you hold my arm? Da, 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 they told all this weird shit. I swear to God on my mama this happened. And so I'm like, yo, my nigga, what you planning on? He's like, yo, I'm just saying, so you know I was getting ready to hit you with this bottle, right? I was like, you know I was getting ready to hit you with this, right? Oh, the whole conversation changed then. Like all of a sudden you're like, yo, son, chill. Yo, listen, B. I don't do nothing like that. I love her. Da 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 da. We was just arguing. Da da da. Niggas started over explaining shit. So now other niggas are showing up. They hear me talk to the niggas. So I try to calm it down because I don't know if any of these niggas is with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So now I got bah, 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 you know what I mean? Then get up out of there. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, boom. As I'm talking, it must have just been a envelope of real niggas that just summoned in because everybody was like hearing what I was saying. It was like, yo, my nigga, you sitting up here, you get mad loud with the shorty, but you ain't getting loud with me. You understand what I'm saying? You just told me you was gonna hit me with a bottle, which I already knew that was big. Nigga, this is Brooklyn. I already know what's on your mind. You know what I'm saying? This is Brooklyn. I already know what's on your mind. Brooklyn niggas is notorious for that shit. Brooklyn nigga gonna cut you, hit you with a bottle, or hit you with the strap. One of the three. You understand what I'm saying? Queens niggas, they gonna pull a blade out on you, try to motherfuckers sneak you. Same thing with Bronx niggas. Bronx niggas are gonna try to blade you. You know what I'm saying? Then gun you. Like I know the boroughs. Like you know what I'm saying? Harlem niggas gonna either try to give you a $150 or they gonna shoot you somewhere where you gonna live. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I knew from based off that shit right then and there what I was getting myself into. But it's just a thing with me. And yes, they were Latino. You know what I'm saying? Both the couple was Latinos. The girl wasn't Black American. They were Latino. He like to me, and to the other dude that was out there, he didn't want to get into it. I was like, yo, nigga, it seemed like you beat her ass when you at home. Is that wrong? You know what I'm saying? And I do shit like that for bitches all the time. And then the shit backfired on me. The bitch got mad because I stopped this thing. He ain't like that. Da, 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 da. The nigga ended up going in the store and buying me a beer. He was like, yo, bro, I respect you though, because that's the same way I am. I said, I can't be the same way you are, nigga. You ready to beat her ass. I could tell. Oh, thank you so Ahmad. Thank you so much. I'm ordering that shit today. I'm ordering that shit today. What's today? I might be able to get that shit on time. So yeah. I'm ordering that shit today. Hell yeah. Thank you, Ahmad. I didn't see you had sent that. Yeah, I'm trying to if you guys don't know, man, make sure y'all donate. Thank you for that $40 donation, man. I needed that. I am, and it's another piece too. So let's get that on the way. So next week, and that's the rest of that story. Whatever the moral of the story is, fellas, do not get yourself involved in 2024 into motherfuckers arguing. This shit can be dangerous. You understand what I'm saying? I talked about this before on here. Sometimes you see a bitch in the middle of something. It's best to just keep it moving and mind your business because you never know. These motherfuckers might end up jumping you because the bitch was mad at me for checking the nigga that was trying to whoop her ass. I said, this bitch is crazy as fuck. Yeah, I listen, Ahmad, listen, this watch what happened this week, right? Just watch what happened this coming up week, and then you gonna understand what I was saying about these niggas. Like, y'all niggas must be crazy. Y'all ain't supporting this nigga. This nigga like be everywhere. And then they rather because I don't know what it is. It might be the way I talk. Some people are drawn off of the way I talk. Some people don't like the way I sound. I don't know what the fuck it is. But like the overwhelming majority of people like me, but then when you move in all this fucking gossiping and all this shit or whatever, it makes it look like it's something else. And I'm like, yo, dude, that's not me. You understand what I'm saying? When you provoke, the niggas just provoke you, that's something different, but that's not me. So when I'm getting up here and I'm telling motherfuckers like the other night, Ahmad out, you paid attention to me. That's why I'm saying like niggas don't be paying attention. Like when I say I'm gonna do something, I go do it. These niggas, they'll take these people's money and then you won't see them for 3, 4, 5 days. Then they come up with another podcast after they run out of money, and now they pardon again. Like it shit is crazy to me. And then like when you try to get your soul set up and try to be like, all right, listen, man, y'all see the numbers, y'all see the locations, and they will still pick a nigga that's in their bedroom. You know why? Because it's a lot of racists. You know the biggest problem I ever had on here was the point, and I'm gonna tell y'all this very loud and clearly. A lot, it's not the men either as much. The men, they only back it because either their single mother taught them this way of thinking, or either two, the bitches they are dating currently and they gotta depend on. A lot of these niggas be pro women, and it's only because they live with a bitch. Which brings me to this. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what I mean by these dudes. It's like this, because you would think that I could come out, I could count on here. The women have a very unique area. Women, that they have a way of like combining their resources together and shit like that. He said it's probably because you don't conform to the mess in the sector, but I personally enjoy the industry stories and places you show. Everyone can't go get to NYC, so they see a unique perspective from you. Thank you. The other day I told these niggas, I said, yo, y'all donate. I'm gonna go to Trump. This was when the night that the Trump assassination was attempted. Next morning I was up there. I said, yo, if I don't go up there tonight, because I already knew that's why I went to go scoop it. When I went to go scope it, I was like, oh no, this ain't the energy. I ain't gonna be the only nigga out here. Now fuck that. I need this shit to be daytime. You know what I'm saying? Not because I was worried about anybody at Trump Tower doing anything to me. No, those people up there know me. No, 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 no. I was worried about one of these wackos coming through. You know what I'm saying? Woo-hoo! Shoot up Trump Tower. I know he's in there, Billy Bob. You know, them type motherfuckers. I ain't want to be around that shit. So I said, I'm going to wait till daytime. I know them motherfuckers ain't going to do nothing. President, president, yeah. So, we got that in order. We got that taken care of. But the point is, I told y'all what I was gonna do and I did it. And like you got so many of these vloggers, like I literally watched their patterns. There are two particular vloggers that have gotten this pattern down packed. They've been doing it so long. This nigga knows when the first of the month comes. This nigga comes back again on the 15th of the month. Nigga, you like a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? You like a drug dealer. That's how the drug dealers pay attention to shit. But this nigga effortlessly is always, and I'm gonna underline always, doing the same routine. He will collect money from the supporters. After he's collected the money, the nigga is boom. You don't see him no more. You don't see this nigga no more. And he'll be gone for like 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and oops, he'll pop the fuck back up, if you get what I'm saying. Oh, oops, he'll pop the fuck back up. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that interesting. You don't find that suspicious. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta. I've noticed that it's like 5 or 6 of these motherfuckers that just come in, get the payday, don't deliver nothing after that except for their motherfucking bedrooms and their fucking ashy ass necks and shit. And I don't know if y'all that's what y'all like, and that's what y'all upset. Oh, excuse me. That's what y'all accept, but I don't accept that. I don't think that should be accepted. And that's why I always on this channel always taken out of my way to make sure that I give my audience a little bit more. But it seems to me that my audience doesn't appreciate that. My audience only appreciates fuck niggas that get on here and lie about people, and especially for some reason or another, a particular batch of those LBGTQ men that, in my opinion, are the worst things for the culture right now. And I'm not talking about in a batch, I'm talking about individuals. There are some LBGTQ individuals on here that are just fucking disgusting. And I'm not talking about their sexual prowess. No, 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 no. I'm talking about their actions. We got one nigga on here that has literally told his audience, I'm a cop. You know what I'm saying? And they cool with it. You know what I mean? This nigga is literally a cop. Like, I'm not joking. I took some time and I said, let me go check some shit out. This nigga's a cop. And when y'all find out who this cop motherfucker is, y'all gonna be like, oh shit, we been fun. Y'all niggas basically over there funding the policeman's ball and don't even know it. The dude's a cop. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all keep rocking with that nigga. Keep getting on your money. I ain't rocking with him. I peeped that shit early. I said, "Oh, you a fuck nigga. I got you. I got you. Ain't too hard to figure out fuck niggas. Fuck niggas are easy to figure out. Like trust me when I tell you this. Fuck niggas are easy to figure out. They all come the same way. They all look the same way. They all got goofy motherfucking personality. Fuck niggas easy to figure out. Only thing is, fuck niggas always make the mistake, or sooner or later they run across niggas such as myself and others. They don't play that fuck nigga shit. You know what I'm saying, baby boy? They don't play that fuck nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? This is New York. So like, you know what I mean? Like, and bitches too. There's a whole bunch of bitches out here that's on some fuck nigga shit too. You know what I'm saying? You got to get dealt with. Cause if you in the town, let me tell you something. I say it again. If you in the town and you giving that information to out of towners about New Yorkers, you gotta go. Or anybody in the tri-state for that matter, you gotta go. Like you shouldn't be around us. You know what I'm saying? Like I think you should be moved out the whole city for that. You know what I'm saying? Or like you're not able to move around New York comfortably. I think that's what it should be. Cause the reason I say that, because when I had my little debacle last week, as many of y'all remember, you know what I'm saying, that somebody indiscriminately called the police on me with the help and volunteer services of a motherfucker here online. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? That fuck nigga shit. Like, you can't be out here. Like, if you from Philly, Maryland, all the way up to Boston, I'm gonna even go down bottom to Florida. It should be no reason, but I'm gonna stick with the Northeast mostly. Let me stick with the Northeast. So I even say from if you from anywhere from like Philly on up to even some parts of Baltimore, I'm gonna put it in there because y'all know the vibes too. Like if you, but especially like you from the Philly area on up to Boston, you know the vibes. You know not to be doing certain shit. You know what I'm saying? You just know that. Like especially if you live in Philly, Philly niggas be in Jersey and New York too much to not know the vibe. So like, you know what I'm saying? And plus Philly got their own shit going on. It's a war down in Philly right now. Same way it's a war in New York right now. People across the country don't understand these things. So when I see women particularly and they out here and they helping motherfuckers and shit like that and support motherfuckers financially, but don't support people in their own city or whatever. I have an issue with that. And I want more people in the New York City tri-state to start calling these motherfuckers out. Now I quite honestly and truthfully know that there's two podcasters and possibly a third wannabe podcaster who's a male that are responsible and engaged in behavior like this nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like there's niggas that are literally, listen to me very carefully. There are bitches and niggas that's in New York right now that's hitting up niggas in the West Coast, the Midwest, and shit like that, giving information, talking about niggas, all kinds of shit, acting like they siding or whatever, whatever. All in their mind, they think, oh, I got a new demographic. California ain't gonna never love you. I done lived in California. I've been Cali ain't gonna never love you. Cali don't even love its own citizens. How the fuck is gonna love you? Cali don't love nobody that's on fucking Skid Row. Cali loves money. And that's all Cali loves. Money. Same thing with New York. New York loves money. And that's all they'll ever love. They don't love you. These motherfuckers think they're gonna be superstars. Everybody want to be a fucking superstar. Now you tattletelling to become superstars now, huh? I got you. I understand. That's a new move. We're gonna start tattletelling to become. We're gonna tattletale. So what happens when you start getting around to real money and real money figure out that you got there by being a tattletale? You really think it don't matter? Or like these bitches that were ex strippers now. You think people are gonna have dialogues about that now? It was bitches out here that was stripping and shit, and now they superstars, and they think everybody's supposed to forget about it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't forget about it. You know what I mean? Oh, that was a little too loud. My fault. I be fucking with shit. Damn. Let's not do that. Okay, excuse me, y'all. That was yeah, I dropped something. That's it. So anyway, like I was saying though, right? Y'all hoes can't be out here like that no more. And real talk, y'all hoes can't be out there like that no more, man. For real. So y'all gotta get checked. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let you know right now so you prepared. I ain't gonna say your name, I ain't gotta say your name. You know who you are. You a snitch. You know if you snitching. But to the snitch, two possible snitch bitches, keep your eyes open. For the one particular possibility snitch man, watch yourself. And don't trip for and don't trip coming out the bathroom, all right? And watch those cars when you're crossing the street. You gotta be careful. All right. You know it's real messy down there in Chinatown. And you know, down there by Houston and all that, it's real slippery. Capiche? You get me, right? Okay. Just in case you're listening. So upon your journeys, watch your motherfucking walk. Because I don't play that shit. Now, this is what I plan on doing here for the rest of the time here. One, I need y'all to hit that like button for me. Number two, we're going to be back here. We're going to do another podcast shortly. I'm going to do me a little cigarette break real quick, eat something. Like I said, I just woke straight up, so I just went to the blog. And I like doing what I used to do. I used to be on, like, many people just now joining me, I used to be on here early in the fucking morning. Like, I was always like, if y'all remember, y'all been my real subscribers for like 5 years. I used to be on here like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I want to go back to doing that. I want to be back on here at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. I noticed that's when everybody's available. Mostly, a lot of people are more attentive at that time, or whatever the case may be. Now, Amber Rose. I want to talk about Amber Rose since we talking about wayward bitches. And my nigga, stop using my words. You ain't never used the word wayward. You heard me on one of my podcasts use the word wayward. Now all of a sudden you want to use the word. You understand what I'm saying? You motherfuckers have got to find your own personalities. You cannot make it through life imitating that you somebody else. Should I pretend that I'm Michael Jackson now? Hee hee. Every time I talk now, I'm gonna say that. Hee hee. I'm gonna pretend I'm Michael Jackson so we can grab pieces of people like they fucking like we Dr. fucking Frankenstein and add them to our personalities. You niggas is crazy, man. You motherfuckers is crazy. And now you got the bitches out here. I heard a podcaster that's a female. She was saying the same shit. She was like, yo, niggas just out here copying me. Yeah, because these motherfuckers is crazy. You have a high attribute of people in the Latin and black community that are fucking nuts. And when you get into the men, it's fucking what's the name? Amber Rose, man. Amber Rose, what could be said that ain't been said? Been out here shaking ass for over a decade and a half. That's something I remember seeing that bitch the first time in 2000, what, 11, 12. So she been out here almost a decade and a half shaking ass. Nigga, only thing you gotta do, ladies, is look. If you think about going to get a BBL, thinking all that modeling and gigging and shit's gonna work out, look at this bitch. On top of that, the bitch might be on the way to jail. Now, many that are familiar with me, no, I ain't talked about this whore a million times and nobody wanted to pay attention to me. When I was talking about this fucking tramp, when she had that first initial slut walk, third slut walk, excuse me. That third slut walk was the one I talked about. I had seen it the first two times and I made a comment on the social media I was using at the time and I said it was a bad idea. I didn't want to get that confused. The first official post I ever did about it though, and I'm talking about video form, was right here. And that was on her third one, the slut walk. And so I said, I understand what Trump doing. Y'all don't understand this, but I understand what he doing. See, you know that Stormy Daniels shit or whatever, whatever. See, I was here in the New York City tri-state for that shit. I went to the court case and all that, so I know what I'm talking about. If you don't believe me, just go down below and you'll see for yourself. The videos are still there. But what I said to myself was, y'all gonna be shocked by this. I said Stormy Daniels and the whole thing that happened with her and him and everything like that, based on the fact of the perception of him or whatever, whatever, the first thing the crowd would have thought was, oh, he'll never be around. I bet you won't ever put himself around any skanky women like that ever again, huh? On display and and give them a chance. Nah, you do the total opposite. Nah, I'm motherfucking Trump. That's what I do. Get another one of them skanky bitches up. Matter of fact, who do we have an equal elk? But we need to show the world that these sluts exist in all kinds of motherfucking areas. And we can get the chief slut to show that we're not slut shaming like we did with Stormy Daniels. So basically what it is a cleanup solution for Stormy Daniels as far as PR is concerned. Y'all don't get it, but I get it. You went to jail for paying a whore. So you got to go get another whore to speak on behalf and let the other whores know, listen, he gonna pay you. Don't worry about it. He gonna pay you, don't worry about it. Because if you don't think Amber Rose being paid well, you out your fucking mind. And the bitch probably gonna get a pardon for that upcoming fucking trial she got going on, or possibly a trial going on with some Bitcoin manipulation and shit like that. Or some tidying or giving false promises, however the fuck you want to put it, bitch, you in fraud. You heard me correctly. Amber has been brought up on fraud. But some Bitcoin agency or something like that that was selling porky pies, telling people, hey, put in $2, I'll make sure you make $1 million, that type of shit. Evidently, she was a spokesperson for that. At one time, Amber was charged at 18 to 25,000. And now I guess she's trying to do the podcast. She kicked Just Pearly Things off a podcast. What was it, 2 weeks ago or something like that? You kicked Just Pearly Things off of there because Just Pearly Things. She was trying to beat up on Just Pearly Things, and Just Pearly Things had been on her podcast before. And respectfully, Just Pearly Things was 100% nice to this bitch when she was on there. See, I don't like Amber Rose's personality personally. And then there was another question about her ethnicity that Joy Reid brought up, and I saw that. If it was coming from somebody other than Joy Reid, I'd be all right with it. But let me give you some hindsight on Joy Reid. Joy Reid was one of the, and this is why I say you got to start looking at a lot of these bitches that y'all elect, okay? These bitches are doing a horrible job, all right? Look at that bitch out there, and I brought her up 7 months ago. Now everybody else want to talk about her. That Tiffany Hayward bitch out there in the middle of motherfucking, what's her name? Yeah, Ratchet is the new norm, ain't it? That Tiffany Hayward bitch out there taking on them good people's money and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Out there in the suburbs of Chicago. I talked about this bitch months ago. Ain't nobody give a fuck. Then all of a sudden, when the bitch started getting some little traction, everybody want to start talking about her. Horrible example. If you're looking at some of these bitches that be online, that be keeping shit going every day. Right now, I'm starting to see a high influx, and I don't know what this is, but it's just confusing. We have a contingency of black women that, on one hand, they lust after a white man, hate white women, and even more so hate men of color who date white women. But all along, white men who they lust after make little white girls. In fact, if you get lucky and you get married or have sexual intercourse with this man to get pregnant, your child is going to be half of a little white girl. But these will be the main bitches online talking about racism and shit like that all the time, but applauding a bitch like Serena Williams soon as she get married. But if it's what's his name, Bill Gates, and his daughter was dating a black guy, whatever, they said everything in the book horrible about this man because in their mind they felt that this man will not be anything. That's what it is. It's the presumptuousness of failure. And I'm like, where the fuck does that come? Is that some new shit? Is I ain't never seen that one. So I have a presumptuousness of failure, but you have a presumptuousness of success because your light skin or however you think yourself to be, or your gender or your sexual orientation. Because I've noticed this now too with LBGT men over there. A lot of them act the same fucking way. They'll act like they are better than a heterosexual man. I got one of them to do it with me almost every day. This nigga really think he better than me. I'm like, the nigga said some shit. I drive a Mercedes. I said, nigga, don't ever say no shit like that on camera. Don't ever say that you drive a model of you drive a certain brand of car, but we ain't got the model and the year number on that motherfucker. Because the model and the year number and the VIN on that bitch is everything. All right. Listen, I didn't listen. Y'all seen pictures with me, and since we talking about Mercedes, Bentleys, Murcielagos, all right, BMWs, the high end ones. I got a couple pictures with the i8 when it first came out. So I know a nigga that ain't never had none because they'll say shit like that. Niggas ain't never been around nothing, never had much of nothing. They all say shit like that. Yeah, I got the new Mercedes. But nigga, that's our old Mercedes. It's like niggas used to be riding around in the C class and be fronting. And niggas C class Mercedes is for bitches. The bitches riding around the C class money. On my mama, the bitches ride around in the C classes and the E class coupes. Niggas don't know nothing about no cars. I watch niggas in my neighborhood, niggas be riding around and, and tracker jeeps and, shit, and RAV4s. You know what I'm saying? And in Latin culture, that's how you ride around. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a Porsche. It's not a, you know what I mean? And I done rode them vehicles before, so that's why it's funny to me when niggas be talking like that. Like, as like a nigga in the corner store they be counting on every last thing in his pocket in front of a bunch of poor niggas at the corner store and think everybody's supposed to respect them. Like, you know what I'm saying? The niggas you front in front of, 8 out of 10 of them ain't got the same amount of money you do. So of course you look like the man. You look like a sucker. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of mentality you have in motherfuckers like that. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm gonna look at it though. I'm gonna look at it though, man. Definitely. I definitely look at that. Guys, make sure y'all hit that like button. Also, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App. We was gonna make some moves today if y'all want to. There's like 2 or 3 events going on today. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Also, we love if you guys listen. So there's 2 more pieces. I already got one of the pieces. Thanks to Ahmad L. Yes, sir. Okay, I didn't see what you said at first. He said the 911. I thought you said 911 in my pick. 911, yes, sir. Yeah. And see, that's the difference between a Porsche. A Porsche don't matter what year it is. Um, Certain models of what other car would I say in that ilk? Porsche is definitely or Porsche, depending on who you're talking to. Lamborghini is one of those. Um, Definitely, especially it's the Fonza ones. Any type of Ferrari. Um, these are cars that slowly depreciate in value, but never lose their common value as far as going up. They'll slowly depreciate, and then 5 or 4 years goes by, and then they appreciate back up in value. Very few cars do this. Most cars depreciate value when you leave. I think like basically when you leave the lot after the first month, it's like it's depreciating in value. But certain cars they maintain a value depending on the specifics of the car, the model of the car, the color of the car, the engine that's in the car, the particular edition of the car matters a lot too. Like you got some editions of cars, they won't have nothing but 10,000 fucking copies of that shit. They have a Jesus Christ, I think it's the A52 Datsun. I think that's what you call it. It's either A52 or the A51. And this is a car that's real popular, especially in Brazil and Latin America, but most people would never even know anything about it. There's another one, there's a brand of Supra that was made that a lot of people in the islands got the Supra, but most people in the United States don't have it. If they do, they got to get it imported. There's another form of Datsun that was made too. Most of the Datsun cars were made in the realms of thinking about derby and buggy racing, in my opinion. And it's another thing. They have car shows for this shit down in Hawaii because Hawaii is the only people that seem to maintain a lot of these because it had something to do with the manufacturers, and I think they had that base there at the time. But there's even cars that are like specifically that will appreciate a value that you never even heard of depending on the manufacturer. There's a Russian car that's considered one of the most fucking gangsterous fucking and I forgot, it's something Tinalin or something like that. The company starts with a T. They make it. Nissan Skyline came by in America. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. You use 10K as soon as you leave the lot, and 90% of that at the time. Very true. There's also a Japanese car maker that made something that almost looked like a mini limo. And this is what all the Japanese gangster dudes who roll in. And just like the Bentley, this shit had the little fucking. It actually, this was the first car, and I think Bentley. They a lot of people said Bentley took that from them, where they had the umbrella on the side door, the champagne holder with the champagne. So the what they mean is the cup would literally go down and the thing would close over top of it. It was like dope. You can buy these cars or whatever. The most common car for hope the Albanian company, the Albanian community don't get on me. If you ever see an Albanian in a 300D Mercedes from like 83, 84, 85, watch that nigga. If you ever see an Albanian or a Russian in a Mercedes 300D that's 83, 84, 80, 80, no, actually 81, 82, 83, 84. After 85, the what's the name? The body changes. You know what I'm saying? I think it's either 84 or 83. The body changes, but I think it's 84 is the last model of that body. Look it up, Mercedes 300D. That's what all the Albanian gangsters drive. Trust me on that. You see an Albanian gangster, you ain't a real gangster if you got 300D. It don't matter how old they are either. They can be young or older. If anybody remembers over where I used to live at in the Bronx, there's an Albanian social club over there. And that's all you used to see over there. And the Albanians, for the most part, they cool. You know what I'm saying? They like another group of niggas in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best way I can put it. They like another group of niggas in Europe. They the niggas of Europe, like the Polish and a couple other ones. You know what I'm saying? The Belgians. Who else can I say? The Kurds. I mean, shit. Even my ex was from Afula, Israel. She's half Turkish. She even told me this shit. She like that. You know, they like the niggas of of Europe. She said that's how people call them. She said it just like that too. That's why I appreciated it. And she wasn't calling me that. She was just saying that's how they say it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Kurtz, all those places like that, Kyrgyzstan, and I mean basically the niggas of Europe. So I mean they live under poverty and gangster lifestyles that a lot of people here in America couldn't even fathom. That's why I tell a lot of people about the island. Like, and my whole personality is basically or my reaction. I won't say my personality. My reaction base and my scaling stuff is literally I say I don't know 40% black, 40% Latino. No, I say yeah, 40% to 50%. No, I'll say 50% Latino. And then the other part is definitely Italian and Greek. You know what I'm saying? That's me. That's my personality. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Some of us like that we have different, multiple ethnicities in us or whatever. We're able to frame that and, take it for what it is. Some people can't. Some people can't. Some people can't. So I just want to say this. Um, Back to the original thing I was saying about a lot of the ladies now supporting people that are out of state more than you're supporting people in your own region. You are an embarrassment. You're a real embarrassment. And I think you should be called out here in the tri-state. Another thing I want to say with the men that are online that don't support other men or whatever, yo, my nigga, don't even speak to me. For real, because if I saw you in real time, I probably spit in your face. So don't ever speak to me in real life. Like I had somebody the other day told me they said, "Yeah, I seen you on YouTube before." I said, "That's what's up, man." I said, "Yo, make sure you hit that donation button." They started giggling with me and shit, and I was like, "Nah, bitch, I really mean that shit." Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, you get people on here that do shit like that. So, that was just one thing from that. But back to Amber Rose. Amber Rose is definitely being used as a shield right now. Um, for Donald, there ain't no mistake about that. I peeped as soon as I seen. I said, "Y'all ain't got this bitch." I said, "Shit, I would have rather y'all would have got Sexy Red than this bitch." Like, what the fuck? least six, least she, like, you know what I'm saying? We can look at Sexy Red at least a little bit different, I would think. You know what I'm saying? Versus Amber Rose. Like Amber Rose, like your whole track record fucked up. That's the name of it. The good because you said the 204 shit. That is it. It looks like it's like a Rolls Royce, and it's got the backwards opening doors. Oh my god, he know what he's talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The Masuku Galu 204. That's the Japanese gangster car, and it's also used by statesmen, and it used to be used by the statesmen in Japan and shit like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look in the chat room. He put it down there. I can't say it. Musoko Galu 204. But when that 204 shit is in the back, yeah, that thing, I told you. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh my God. Like when I was younger, my uncle, him and his friends and all that shit, that's all they used to do was fix up they military men. So they used to just fix up old cars and shit like that and bring them out. You know what I mean? Like my uncle had a what the fuck was the name of that shit? Camaro. Not the Camaro. Was it the Camaro? No, he had the Camaro. He had something else too, but he had the Camaro with the raised back on it. You know what I'm saying? His shit was jet fucking red. If anybody remember what I'm talking about, he had the raised, like the back of it where the trunk was, it was raised. And like he used to run that shit. We rolled in the car with him with that shit a million fucking times. And then my aunt, she had the little yellow joint, and it was a speed car too. He had fixed that up for her, but he had like 6 or 7 cars. My friend Dwayne to this day, and I lie to you not. His dad used to fix up cars and shit like that. This is when we were real young. I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. But we used to sit there and we used to just watch them like work on the cars. And now Dwayne, he owns his own fucking garage doing the same exact thing. And some of the like when I get back on, I told him, I said, when I get back on, first thing I'm coming to do is buy old school from you because the fucking work is just beautiful. He doesn't just do the exterior of the car. Oh no. This motherfucker handcraft. I want to add that in. He handcrafts and cuts shit. Uh, he'll make you shit. Like say you want a certain type of oak dashboard or something. This motherfucker will build it for you. I have it built for you and put it into the car. You know what I'm saying? Along with, vinyl and everything else that will be there. But say like you want oak wood plate or something like that or whatever, he'll put it in the car for you. Um, he's done whole interiors that have been modernized and shit like that. Like I was real surprised by that. Like he put this GPS system, a big LED, and like a 72 or something like that. So he does some great. Yep, the Camaro iRock. My uncle had that shit. Yeah, exactly. They're not original parts. So what he has to do is he has to rebuild the part. You know exactly what I'm talking about because his shit will say restoration and shit like that or whatever. So he'll do that, and then I think I'm imagining there's a couple of companies because I know Porsche does that. Porsche doesn't have a what's the name here in the United States. So usually what they do, and BMW has this problem too. And some Mercedes, especially the older Mercedes, you have to usually call into Europe or call Europe third tier dealers to actually, you know what I'm saying, get the parts that you need or whatever. And a lot of times they do. Now with 3D printing and injection molds, they're able to do it quicker. You know what I'm saying? So only thing you just need to mold the original part basically, and they'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, mass produce it for you. That's all it is. Resto mods. Uh huh. Okay, got you. Now I know. Yeah, see, I like to know. I like to know the terms of it. Got you. So you know what I'm talking about. Then I ain't explaining it the right way, but you know I know I ain't bullshit either. I know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, I've been around cars all my life. When I was I told people all the time. I said I got with Bad Boy when I was 20, going on 21, right? And from that moment on, the first car that I seen the third day that was of some significance was this powder blue. I still got a picture of it too, and I'll put it up for you guys in the community section. I got a picture with Puff in it, and I got a picture of me leaning on it. You know what I'm saying? I am too. I love cars. And so the first car that I ever photographed that was of some worth was Puff's powdered blue fucking Bentley. It was his first Bentley. And it was outside Hot 97, and we were promoting the Forever album. And that nigga pulled up in that baby blue joint. And I'm trying to tell you, I don't know, nobody could probably. You know who can probably remember it? Gene. Ask Gene. Gene will remember. Ask Gene Dill. Gene Dill will remember. He had the powdered blue. He had a powdered blue fucking what's the name? A powdered blue fucking Bentley. I think that was like his first Bentley ever. It had to be. And he pulled up in the high night. That shit was so cold, bro. Cause the way the motherfucking shit looked like. If I get a Bentley, I'm getting it in that color. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'll probably get the car in that color because there's that color, and then there's this other gray, powdered blue, white, chrome, pastel color. And that's more what that Bentley was. It was a unique, like powder blue. Like I can't even explain to you how unique that color was. But yeah, man, I'm heavily into cars, man. I'm heavily into cars. Hell yeah. I want my dream car that I want right now. If I and people think I'm crazy, the joint I want right now is that bubble BMW Jeep. I like BMW over Mercedes. Always have. I like Mercedes, but I think Mercedes kind of like when you talk about the cars. Um, I think if you're talking about in the suggest until you get outside the $70,000 price range, I think anything under $70,000 made by Mercedes is either made for a family or made for a woman in most cases. Now with BMW, it's very different. Yeah, the i8 start at a 70,000, so that's why I mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? That 70,000 down though, you get your old 5 series. You can fit the whole family. You can fit a family of four and their two friends in that motherfucker. That shit is huge. My target car is a Porsche GT3. Hell yeah, I like the Cowman, and I like and I think that's the name of the four door, the Cowman or the Cowman. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I like that. I've been looking at that too. Now up here, since I live in the area I live in, and like not to be funny, this area is very opulent. So it's nothing like I've shown people on camera. Like there's always Mercedes, oh, not excuse me, Mercedes, Lamborghinis, Porsches, all that on a daily basis. I walk around the corner right now, you're going to see that traffic because they're coming from the surrounding towns that are very, very, very much even more opulent than where I live at. And so, like it's a normalcy to see people around here in Lamborghinis, Porsches, all that shit for the area I live in. You know what I mean? It really is the truth. That's just what it is. And so, that's one thing because we've always seen that in Connecticut alongside with boats. I've been around boats all my life. Like even when I was younger, I was around boats. I tell the story about me and my cousin Mario. We used to have this girl named Michelle, and she was a friend of. She was a white girl, but she was a friend of ours, and her family had a boathouse, and I'll never forget this. And so we used to go up there all the time because it was a drive, and they had bought her a car. And at the time, she had a red Mitsubishi Eclipse. I remember this shit to this day. And that shit was like a new Eclipse at the time. And so we would go up there with her and shit like that or whatever, whatever, and chill up there with her. And then they started bringing a friend up there for me, which is another redhead white girl who was very pretty at the time, too. I got to say that. And we used to get on, her parents had like a real boat. Like when I say a real boat, like this bitch was two tiers. Like you could go downstairs or you could go upstairs. Yeah, yeah, that's why I said Mercedes is more about a luxury is more about luxury than a driving experience. Exactly. Like I wouldn't want to go on a long trip as tall as I'm 6'2". So I wouldn't want to go and most of the time if you're familiar with Mercedes, like the area that they're made in Germany, I don't know if there's like a lot of small men
Mhm.
over there, but for the most part, most European men ain't that tall. Most Japanese men ain't that tall either. So that's why when you get a Japanese car, a lot of times it's not meant for tall men. You get a Japanese made Jeep now, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about with the Jeep thing. I wanted to equal out with that with the BMW and Mercedes comparison. If you look at the Jeeps by BMW and you look at the Jeeps by Mercedes, you're gonna find two things. One, the ones by BMW, in my personal opinion, have better specs, even though the parts are swappable. You understand what I'm saying? They're literally swappable. The same company that makes Bentley, Mercedes, and BMW all in the same. They make the engines in all three. It's one company. It used to be handcrafted, and they still are to a certain extent, but a lot of it is, you know what I mean, for production value, of course. So anyway, all three of those though they share the same parts, share manufacturer to a certain extent. But the difference between BMW Jeeps, in my opinion, is they're more roomier. They're meant for longer trips. They're not meant to be just show off pieces and be visually stunning, but they're also meant to be like a presence but not an overbearing presence. When you pull up in a Mercedes, a lot of times that shit could be overbearing because just like Ahmad said, these cars are more about luxury than they are about driving. So it always gives people a lot of times the notoriety that you're trying to just show off, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people they won't fuck with Mercedes like that for that short reason. But I don't have no problem with Mercedes. I just think it's just a little too bold of a car for me. Except when you get to the higher tiers of Mercedes, which would include the Bentley Coupes, Maybach, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, as far as like Mercedes as a car, nah, I pass. I like BMW, always have like BMW. My mother's had a litany of BMWs. My uncle had Peugeot, the IROCs, what else did they have? They had Peugeot, Volvos, um, Peugeot, Volvo. I think that was the only oh, and an Opel. I think that's how you spell it. Opel. My uncle Donald had one of those. He kept that shit forever too. Like for real. BMWs, it's about wanting to satisfy experience for active driving. Mercedes wants to eliminate active driving. I believe that shit too. Hell fucking yeah, I believe that. 110%. Well, listen, guys, this is what I'm gonna do. I want to get off of this right here because I kind of want to talk a little bit more about this chick in a little bit here. But I want to have me a cigarette. I want a cigarette so bad. So I want to finish off with Amber Rose before I go anywhere because I owe that to you guys. I just don't want to stop the broadcast. And guys, if you haven't, make sure you hit that like button. Me and Ahmad, I might have to start doing some car podcasts on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I might have to start doing that now. Because there's a lot of guys on here. Like, if y'all want to start talking about cars and stuff like that, let me know. And yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. And Mercedes customer service is horrible. They treat you like shit. BMW Porsche cars treat you like a king. Exactly. Like, this is what I was talking about. Mercedes, like, it is hard to get. Like, the older the Mercedes is, the harder it is to get parts for it. Sometimes the more exclusive it is in the American market, meaning like they only shipped a couple to the American market, and more so the car itself is more exclusive to the European market. Because a lot of times you'll have individual dealers and they'll allow the dealers, because I used to have a friend that worked at Mercedes dealership, they'll allow the dealers to bring in one or two, which usually they've converted, you understand what I'm saying, to the American market. And sometimes they'll sell, sometimes they won't. Right, we're gonna start doing some of that shit then. All right. A long time ago, I wanted to get on here and talk about cars. And I said, yo, I ain't talked about it. And then he just brought it up right there. I don't know everything there is to know about cars, but I know a lot about cars for real. I bet you I could change a goddamn tire. I bet you I could change your fucking oil. Can them motherfuckers is podcasting? Do you do that? Ask Paul Chop, can he change a tire? Or Queen Payne. Ask Queen Payne if he could change a tire. Because I don't think them niggas just don't look like they could change a tire, change some oil or some shit. Or yeah, I know do all that shit. Amber Rose is being used as a pawn. It's obvious. Amber Rose stands a lot to gain if she can get him elected because she would now be informed of having a pardon. A lot of people are saying since that shit with Kodak Black or whatever, whatever. Look, let's just get it clear. I told y'all motherfuckers in front of Trump Tower, Trump a gangster. The nigga's from Queens. You understand what I'm saying? He's from Jamaica motherfucking Estates. If y'all don't know what Jamaica Estates is, y'all ever seen the movie Belly? Y'all remember when DMX went up there to go see Ox in them nice ass houses? That's Jamaica Estates in real life. We could teach brothers who think cars are only about looks and speeds. Yeah, we can't do that. We can't do that, definitely. But that's what Trump comes from. Trump comes from the hill. You understand what I'm saying? People know what I'm talking about over there in Queens. He from the hill. And even though he was rich or whatever, Trump was still beknownst to everything that was going on around him. He's a New York City man. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I told you, like, make no mistake about it. When you talk about Trump the way you want to talk about him, keeping the fact that this is a New York City man. You understand what I'm saying? This is a New York City, Queensboro man. So I get it fucked up. So, with that being said, you know what I mean? We know the personality. That's why a lot of people don't like people like us. We're gonna speak how we fucking feel. Fuck you if you don't like it. You know? That's how we do up here in the Northeast. And here we got Amber Rose, who's also basically from the Northeast. Bitch, you from Philly. You from up here too. If you from Philly, you can't call that down south shit. All right, listen, you ain't nothing like nobody down south. Like once you get out of Maryland, them niggas is like us, like real talk. Once you get out of, and even Maryland, Baltimore dudes, they even kind of like us. They hip, they smart. But Philly, no. You can't be from fucking Philly and be claiming down south unless you just came from like Maryland or Virginia or North Carolina or something. You just moved to Philly. Nah, nigga, you one of us. You on that line from Delaware to Jersey, nigga. I can get here in an hour. You one of us. You understand what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, she's disgusting. You just see now who's seen the music video she did? Because I was wondering why they was calling her a rapper. Who's seen the music video that this bitch did? Let me get some people in here too, y'all. Let me share this. I have to keep sharing this because it being the music video that this bitch did. I'm gonna start talking about that on the jump when I come back here. I'm not gonna talk about it in here because we're so far in here. We done covered so much. Me and the mod start talking about cars and shit. Which I gladly invited that conversation. I love that conversation. I got you, Ahmad, too. Trust me, I got you. I got you. You're gonna start seeing some things. I'm gonna just do it my way, but you're gonna start seeing some things up here. I've been thinking about that. And I got another piece of content I want to start adding to the foray too, because what we trying to do is we trying to get away from that nigga gossip zone. I don't like that shit. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, and also down below, we're trying to get a few new pieces of equipment or whatever. There's another piece that's going to cost me about $30. Ahmad just covered the first piece or whatever, so we're going to be ordering that this afternoon. But there's another piece that I could get that will be perfect, and y'all will see what I'm talking about. I bought another piece last week that's going to give me a different view, and I'm going to use that this weekend. So y'all gonna get to see me use that, and y'all gonna give y'all a whole different perspective. Like, you know what I'm saying, as far as like filming and shit like that or whatever. And then we're gonna order those other two pieces. But one piece I'm getting because specifically I want my footage to be steady, non-shaky, and you know what I'm saying. I want to be able to hand y'all the best. So like, I don't want to be like, okay, my hands tired, or because a lot of times y'all don't believe it, but a lot of times our hands will get tired hold that fucking camera phone. My phone is extreme. Like the phone that I have now is extremely fucking heavy and it's big. Like this, when I say this shit is big, my phone is 6.8 inches. You understand what I'm saying? That's a big ass fucking phone. This will give you some perspective. My tablet is only 8.9 inches. You dig what I'm saying? So both of them are like it's more comfortable because the tablet is more slim, but the phone is big and bulky. Most of it's because of the fucking battery. But I love my battery. I can go all day and not even have to charge my fucking battery. You know what I'm saying? Which before I was having to charge that bitch like 3 or 4 times. The shit I end up trying to charge, and that's only if I'm not streaming. The shit I end up having to charge all the time is like my portable speaker and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But we got charge points and everything for that. So make sure y'all go down below. As y'all can see, I'll explain once again. As y'all can see, we travel places, we go places, things like that or whatever. It's summertime here in New York City, tri-state. Many of y'all not here, and I go to all the places that a lot of these motherfuckers couldn't get into or don't go to. You understand what I'm saying? So make sure you support this channel and hit that like button for one. Number two, hit the Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL80 found down below, and I guarantee you, as every time, I'm gonna come through for you. You understand? Because that's one thing we do over here. We say we're gonna do something, we do it. At the very least, at least try your luck and see if I'm really about that shit. At least try your luck and see if I'm really about what I say I am. Because if you noticed last week, well, excuse me, this past week now, when Trump was an assassination attempt was taken on Trump, and I believe what was this Tuesday night, guys? What was this? This is over the weekend, wasn't it? But I was there next morning. Next morning, I didn't go there. I could have been there at night, but I said, "Yo, if I don't go tonight," and I told my viewers, I said, "If I don't go there tonight, I'll be there in the morning." I was there for them 6 o'clock in the fucking morning. Let's go. So we don't do no fucking, lazy vlogging over here like these other bloggers that for some reason or another, they make so much money just sitting in their bedroom and they all sound the same. They all you ever notice that all of them talk like they tree stump preacher or something? They can barely speak English, and like they all want to pretend like they from the South, the deep South, where nobody had a school or something. So they talking these weird ass fucking whistle names that try to over accentuate. I'm like, why are you black and you trying to sell to black Americans? Like, this be your fucking self. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta sell the people carry. It's like a nigga that you know when they used to do those commercials and shit. Like, I give you a fucking example, right? I hate to say this, but there's been stores that have been in compromising commercials, right? Let me not use nobody in particular, but there was a woman in particular, it was a big store, and they felt like they had to do this whole hip hop tirade to sell motherfuckers Taco Bell, and then another motherfucker did it over some KFC. I'm just saying, you don't have to start tap dancing and shoe shining, you know what I'm saying, to get a check. And I hate the fact that a lot of these companies to this day they do that shit. You ever notice when they try to sell something to black Americans, they always got to juice it up. Dun 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 dun. Like they did that one commercial with the Migos, you know. Like it's always got to be some hip hop shit added to it. Like everybody in the culture listen to that like that is the most branding shit I've ever seen in my life. And then with Latinos, they do the same thing. Everything that got to be marketed to Latinos got to at least have 1/3 a piece of motherfucking Spanish in it. Tell me I'm lying. Anything, it's even if it's marketed to American Latinos, like third, fourth generation Latinos, right? They always want to mix in Spanish with it because they still trying to grasp and grab the first or second generation Latinos that are here. Shit is crazy, bro. So I like when you see that shit and you see these niggas that be talking like that or be talking extra whatever, be like, yo, bro, what the fuck you on? Why you talking like that for? That's your regular speaker voice, nigga. You know what I mean? And then you'll find you know what I'm saying, you'll find out what you dealing with. Like a lot of these vloggers are fucking frauds, and a lot of these personalities, like Amber Rose, are frauds. I watched that video and I'm gonna talk more about it. But if you watch the video, I put it up. It's in the description box. It's also if you grab this and you came in from the community section, it's within those links. Just click any of those links that you see right there in the title of the community section right there. And it'll take you right to those videos. If not, just go to the description box and it'll take you there too. And as I'm sitting there and I'm watching this shit or whatever the case may be, and she did a rip off of Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. Trump, baby. Dun, 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 dun. I said, you really did this shit, Amber? Like, you used to fuck Kanye West, right? And this is the best shit you could come up with. So that's when the bitch said they gave a description of her at the Republican National Convention. They said this bitch is a rapper. I said, how? Now listen, Trump, I know y'all got cameras and everything up here, and I know y'all listen to me. But when I said appeal to the common man, I didn't mean put out whores to appeal. No, get rid of that motherfucker. Get rid of that motherfucker in a minute. Even if you give her what she wants in the end, get her up out of here. She's not the new what was the two girls' name? God bless one of them died. Them are the girls that used to be with him. What was their name? I don't know. What was their name? Hennessy and what was it? Hennessy and Paul Masson. What was that bitch's name? What's going on one line, like swap? That came all the fuck the way out, funny. One Fly Lady Sparkle 999. Thank you too very much for always putting my whistle name in there. What's going on now? We just sitting up here sitting this shit, whatever, trying to get these motherfuckers to participate and donate so we can motherfucking percolate around this motherfucking, you know what I mean? I'm trying to bring these niggas footage. These niggas want me to work so hard so I can work for them harder. And then I don't rip nothing out of it. But a nigga that's sitting in their bedroom all day, conning people, them type of motherfuckers can. It's beyond me too. So, you know, I know a lot of people. I caught another woman the other night, and I was talking about, speaking of terrible women such as Amber Rose. I caught a woman out the other night, and she had said this shit, and that's why I followed her. I recognized her name because she said some shit. But she said to her crowd, she said, and he ain't even black all the way. I was like, what the fuck that got to do with a nigga donating to me? Well, that's what the motherfucker said. And he ain't even black all the way. And I'm showing y'all, I've even clipped the shit or whatever and put it up. I've had people call me Specs. I had somebody say, why don't you go ask the Cubans to donate to you then? Why are you asking us? I'm like, because I should be able to go to anybody. It shouldn't even have to be based on color. Why gotta be based on color? You know what I'm saying? It's work for everybody to watch. So you think I want to go to Jonathan Major's trials just for black people? Well, if that's the case, how come there wasn't more black press down there? Because the last time I remember, it was only me and the homie from the Associated Press. That was it. And there was one Puerto Rican homie that was down there. He wasn't even down there every day. Before I block you, you know why I'm gonna block you? I'm blocking you because I don't like Christians, want to be Christians like you. Usually Christians like you are very fake. Mm. The first thing you wrote, and let me tell you what I mean by that. Only in urban neighborhoods, usually rural urban neighborhoods, where you see these people called the Church of Latter-day Saints and the Mormons riding around on bikes. And they will look at the people in the community and automatically think that they are sinners or whatever, whatever. And a lot of it was based on hue. The Mormons, they didn't even allow niggas in the church or women. Remember? Okay. So, this is very true. This is very true. The Mormon church, they didn't allow niggas. Brigham Young and all them motherfuckers, they didn't want no motherfucking niggas in the church. That's why they jumped out of here, because they knew what the fuck I was talking about. So let me finish before I block this goofy motherfucker. When they do come in, like King Leopold, and he came into that part of French Guinea, or many of these other motherfuckers that come into these different places or whatever the case may be, and they come in there for either colonization or whatever the case may be, they always use the label of the Lord in front of them to justify the bullshit that they do. The same thing goes to this day. You will only see these Mormons and these people knocking on people's door or whatever, in poor neighborhoods. They're never into high to do neighborhoods. And no reason I know why, because I lived in neighborhoods and I know what the fuck I'm talking about. The niggas will never come through there. They will never come into this situation and automatically think you're a sinner and automatically think they're on their way to path to righteousness. Most of the time, people that think like that are oblivious to one thing that they're partaking in, and that's called pride. And pride is a sin too. So I just wanted to let you know that in case you still here. And the next time you write some shit like that in my chat room or whatever, without introducing yourself, without even saying hi, without that even being frivolous to the conversation, I already smell through you. And I know when I hear a fake Christian and when I hear a real one that was doing by God and sent here by you. So Kyle Daniels, suck a dick. Don't come on here with that bullshit. Any nigga, y'all listen to me very carefully. These motherfucking Mormons and these guys or whatever, yeah, some of them are good people. But the thing you're going to find with a lot of them is they're always going to come in poor neighborhoods. And they come in poor neighborhoods because of the pure simple fact they think that they can salvage people. It's really a very chauvinist and very self-centered way of thinking. But they always come through poor neighborhoods. You need an example of this? Remember in Boys in the Hood, and then when she knocked on the door, it was a lady played Aunt Elsa for y'all that are old enough to remember. And she said, well, fuck you then, little half-dead motherfucker. Notice once again, they were riding through poor neighborhoods. You look at any of these movies that are out here, you always see a Mormon coming up to the door or something like that. It's always in a poor neighborhood. Because they already have the pretense that these people, they need to be saved. We should feel sorry for them. And da. It's the most incorrect Christian way to approach things. You know what I mean? That's why you know the difference between somebody that's actually looking for salvation and to end savagery in a true note and sense naturally from ordained from God versus motherfuckers that do it for their own little petty reasons because they believe they can buy their way into heaven. Now I say that shit to you one more fucking time. Don't come on this motherfucking channel if you unsincere, you talking about God. First thing come out your mouth, repent. Bitch, you don't know if I'm a fucking sinner or not. And who the fuck are you to motherfucking make decisions, talk about who is a sinner, who ain't a decision? Yet ye without sin cast the first stone, says how the Lord. The fuck you talking about? Then niggas are trying to, and that's another thing too I don't like about white Christians. You're always trying to rewrite things and fit in your moment. Black women do that shit too. They'll rewrite passages in the Bible. They get it from white people, but they're trying to believe that shit. That's a whole different conversation. They'll try to rewrite passages in the Bible to fit their narrative and shit. And I'm like, no, 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 bitch, you don't know me. You don't know my life history, anything like that, to even have the audacity to say something like that to me. Then you'll have another group of people that just live by presumption or whatever. I don't live life by presumption. I live life by accolades. If I wanted to sit up in this motherfucking apartment of mine and scratch my ass for the next 5 years, I could do it. Why? Because I accomplished so much when I was 20 and 24 fucking years old, all the way up until my late 30s. I have a resume. Not a street resume, a written resume with job history on it that I can motherfucking attach myself to any fucking time that I need to see such fun and be like, well, look, I worked here, I was on this show, syndicated shows. You understand what I'm saying? Let's not forget, Direct Effects on MTV was syndicated for 3 years, meaning it was played in other markets and it was replayed on that TV show. Only thing I missed out on, I wish they would have gave us some residuals for the shit. We didn't get any residuals off any of those programs. Not long form residuals. Did you know that shit? MTV, where my check at? That's probably why they stopped playing all them shows back then, because they wanted the cast wasn't seeing no residuals, and people started being ready, weary, and wanting to sue. Be quite honest with you. Oh, it's a whole bunch of people that could give me a pocket of money right now, and they won't do it. Most of them won't do it based on the pure simple fact of this ideation in African Americans' minds. And I'll speak about the Latinos too, but in African Americans' minds, it's like, okay, we could help out and change the life of a woman because she reminds me of my mama, my single mama. She had so many hard times raising me around her sisters, my grandma, and my aunties. Oh shit, you might even think I'm a black woman. But my mama. Them soft motherfuckers. For the niggas that grew up with fathers, y'all know what I'm talking about. The most soft batch of men in the world that these niggas have been, not all of them, but about 60% of these motherfuckers have been raised by single mothers. Oh, they're the problem. And the bitches that raised them too. Yeah, they had to pay them later because, well, see, this is the thing. Direct Effect was before making the band. You understand what I'm saying? I actually went on the audition. You can ask Prez this yourself because he was the one that sent me over there. So I ain't got to lie. You can ask a bad boy staff for himself. I was sent over to the audition for making the band. You know I ain't make it. And I worked at the company at the time. I damn sure did the auditions at that time. I think they were on 43rd and it was either on 43rd and 7th or 43rd and 8th over there at that building or whatever, whatever. But I never we had it might even been upwards towards 45th. But I remember going to the audition and everything else. They say, yeah, we think we're going in. They used to tell you back then, now we're going to go in another direction. I was like, yo, fuck this show there. What they were really saying, they wanted some 19-year-old niggas that could get on there and jerk them. Because, nigga, you know, if you would have told some New York niggas to walk to the Brooklyn Bridge and we knew, hey, nigga, I'll beat your ass up for that We would have beat Puff the fuck up on Sway. He would have told us what the motherfucker. If he would have told the average, yo, I'm trying to tell you, he knew who to play that with. Because if he would have told her, he was even president because Ness was from Philly. So he was even kind of president with Ness. But the rest of them were from down south and stuff like that. So they didn't know, except for Babs. And Babs, she was a girl. She ain't have enough flack with her. You know what I mean? But honestly, the truth, that would have been a whole group of New York niggas. They would have jumped Puff. They would have for real. Sparkle is in here. Who's that? Sparkle's in here. Well, I can't see her, so that means I must have blocked her before. One Lady Sparkle. Oh no, you talking about One Lady Sparkle. All right. Yeah, that's people's right there. She cool. They cool. They cool. They cool. They cool. They cool. I like folks like them always coming in, always showing love, always speaking. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that know the deal, niggas just trying to make money. Y'all make sure y'all go check out One Lady Sparkle 999's page too, whatever, whatever. I know a couple of things be over there arguing and smacking on motherfuckers and shit like that. And one lady Sparkle is a man, so don't get surprised when you go over there. The person is part of the LBGT community that I'm talking about. They know better than some of the shit that you see from some of these men in the LBGTQ community is not even acceptable by men that's in the LBGTQ community. If y'all understand what I'm talking about, you understand what I'm saying? So maybe one lady spoke, you should get involved in some of those conversations sometimes. You know what I'm saying, on your page, because I know a lot of these folks, and I didn't mean to put you out there like that if I did neither. I just don't want nobody to be surprised when they come onto your page and have something funny to say. So I think it's better to say something to them up front. But I will say this. There are many people that I've just from researching on the internet and stuff like that that I see talking about a whole bunch of shit that goes on in that community. One of the things that I just found out recently does a lot of people in that LBGTQ community over there are racist. It's like a very racist like spot to be in, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of racism in it. Like maybe I'll do some more investigating or whatever. Because what I don't like to do is I don't like to alienate people. I'm not a racist. I didn't grow up like that. So I don't like to alienate people. I'm not a sexist. But what I do is I say shit the way it is. And sometimes people take it and they try to interpret it into what they want to interpret it. No, motherfucker, I'm talking about them motherfuckers right there. What part don't you get, bitch? Quit trying to twist it up and make it something other than what it is. You know what I mean? And so I have listened to folks that were it came to my mind. I said, let me listen to some of the folks that are older in that LGBTQ community because they might be a little bit more mature, if that makes sense. So I listened to a couple conversations and it's very different. It's like they talk about a lot of the shit that I'm talking about. These motherfuckers acting like this, these motherfuckers irresponsible with this. And one thing I find is they always talk about the sexual practices. That's one thing I find that the older LGBTQ members, both men and women, because I've listened to both of them now here on YouTube, this different podcasts, just to check and see what the temperature is. And I was trying to clarify. I said, I know everybody don't act like this. You know what I'm saying? No, it's just these few motherfuckers, and they call it they even had a term for it when you overly doing it, like you overly acting like you know what I'm saying, some ratchet form of female. Like I forgot what you call it, but that's a lot what a lot the black dudes and the Latin dudes do that they're in the LGBTQ community. We call it being a nasty FAG up this way. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm glad there's people like that. And there's a few other people that I found that have found their way over here from the LGBTQ community over there. And I want to tell you, y'all welcome in the conversation. Y'all type what y'all want to in there. As long as y'all ain't starting no shit with me, I don't give a fuck. There's this nigga out there right now telling me, you got me one in my head. No, nigga, I don't like you because you fit in that format now. A nasty FAG. The same way I would call somebody a nigga, same way I call somebody a spick, same way I call people poor white trash in front of Trump Tower. Loud to the top of my voice. Oh no, I'm an equal opportunity racist around this motherfucker. Oh, you think I just don't like niggas? No, I don't like spicks and poor white trash either. All three connected together, them motherfuckers are a problem. Understand what I'm saying? So you from the LGBTQ community? Nah, I ain't just saying it because you here. No, nigga, y'all welcome over here. Y'all come on over here, rap with us or whatever. You might have something to add to the conversation. We're not alienating nobody from the conversation except for one type of motherfucker. Shit starting, troublemaking, nosy, belligerent, delusional, presumptuous punk motherfuckers. Male and female both. The world could do better without them motherfuckers. And don't you ever feel that you're not invited over here. Yeah, we have conversations, and even people in that community know what I mean, especially if you live here in the Northeast, what a nasty FAG is. And if you don't know what a nasty FAG is, that is a person that's involved in that community, but they're not involved in that community for the good reasons of, finding betterment and happiness or whatever. No, they're involved in that community because they're involved in that community as shit starters. And then they hide behind their sexual prowlers as a shield, like you're not supposed to do something to them. No, what I'll do is I'm gonna grab you away from the shield. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna handle what we're gonna have to handle. Now, depending on how I feel that day, it could be anything from a punch to a kick to you end up in the back of the seat. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. Depends on how I feel that day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit got to stop. And these guys, the small partition of them have been lately linking up with misandrous and this pure men hating ass black women and Latin women and white women, huh? Yeah, all three of them. And partner up and just talking shit. Like I've ran into podcasts. Oh yeah, you know these men are terrible. Nigga, you a man. I'm looking at a man. Well, what the fuck is you talking about? I caught another nigga saying the other day, yeah, you know these straight men are terrible. Da, 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 da. I'm like, nigga, you a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we find with, and these are men of color. I'm like, these are the niggas I got to depend on if some shit go down. Oh fuck, we're all fucking dead. You understand what I'm saying? These are the niggas I got to depend. Listen, I had the fucking cows run up on me 2 weeks ago, and fucking honestly and truthfully, for standing on my square, I didn't have one motherfucker ask me, yo, you all right? You okay? Anything. So I said right there today, I said, yo, this there was I knew who gave a shit and who didn't. You understand what I'm saying? The people that cared and gave some shit, they said what they had to say, and I appreciate them people. They showed it in one way or another. But I'm like, if you seeing this shit go down or whatever, and you just ain't you just nah, we gonna donate to the nigga that sit in this bedroom because he makes so much more sense to us. Nah, because he's a dumb motherfucker, you a dumb motherfucker. That's why y'all see eye to eye on shit. He dumb, you dumb. You understand? So yeah, man. I don't. I cannot say it without being disrespectful. I don't put my belief system into probably 80% of Black American men. Because if you knew what I went through the other day and you helped facilitate in that or whatever, nigga, you worse than the enemy. You understand? Like, imagine you sitting there, you talking on your podcast, you ain't even talking about no violence, you ain't even talking about the shit that niggas is talking about, and then two niggas come into your podcast, interrupt your podcast for a good 10 minutes, talking with people in your chat room or whatever, talking about, I know where he is, da 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 da, and the whole time both of them is on the profile. So you hide one of the profiles, another motherfucker comes back with another fake profile, right? Next thing you know, there's a nigga standing in front of you. What am I supposed to do? Yo, this nigga walk up on me, yo, rockabye, baby. You understand what I'm saying? He see what's happening, so he choose to dip off. Y'all saw me put the dude on camera. Y'all saw him when he walked up. Y'all saw me when I was talking loud enough so he know I'm talking to you. You understand what I'm saying? But when I saw him walk, I said, this nigga probably gonna go get the, you know what I mean? I already was up on it. So I said, all right, let me do that, you know what I mean? Make this move, that, you know what I'm saying? Got me some cigarettes, got me something to drink. I went to go sit down. Next thing I know, there's three cops on me with guns in their hand. Tell me, we got a call from right here in New York City where you was at. I said, really? For real? 4 minutes. You hear me? I was in and out of the situation within 4 minutes. But this was the combination, if y'all wondering, of some L, because a lot of these women, they be pretending like they had. Let me tell you something about these bitches out here real quick before I go. A lot of these bitches, y'all don't know this. I'm gonna leave y'all with this, right? I ain't gonna cry no more. I ain't gonna ask for no donations. Y'all don't want to do nothing with me today. Y'all want to go watch the niggas sit in their bedroom. Go watch them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure if you're new here, just share this shit so we get some people out that got disposable income, some people that actually understand what I'm talking about, some people that ain't trapped in the matrix. I need people over here that ain't can think for themselves. I don't need no motherfucking drone niggas. I don't need no motherfucking spies or snitches that be on here, especially with the bitches. Y'all watch when y'all talk to these bitches. These bitches be spies and snitches, and then they go snitch over here, and then they go snitch over there, then they go snitch over there. They just a bunch of snitch bitches. They do anything to be seen. You know what I'm saying? So watch for the snitch bitches. You know what I'm saying? That includes the niggas too. A lot of these niggas, they be snitch bitches too. They be over there, hey, King Pain, I got the answers, girl. Let me tell you, girl. I'm Jaguar ex-husband. Hey, girl. Motherfucking, you look like a muffin top now. You used to be my nigga. You used to be the man. Now you over there sitting with niggas, man. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. I used to root for that nigga. Sitting over there like, hey, and Shay. The fuck wrong with you? I got faith in you, though. You gonna get better. But that ain't the move over there with old hey Shay Shay. You understand what I'm saying? Stay away from over there. You looking kind of sweet, girl. Hey girl. Hey girl. Over there talking about your ex-wife, girl. You better stop, girl. On period. Support, 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 support. We can't do it without y'all. We can't do it without y'all. Support, 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 support. It's hard ripping these videos, replaying them, and talking shit over them. Support, 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 support. Here you go. Here's $200 for me because I'm a dumb old bitch and I don't have any friends. Oh boy. Who's that guy? Oh, that's the guy that goes to trials and stuff like that. He doesn't sit in his bedroom all night begging for money. Oh, fuck that guy. Yeah, I can't make this up. Anyway, guys, make sure y'all hit the Cash App. Also, it's $ STRINGERBELL80. Only thing I'm interested in right now is getting equipment. I'm not buying clothes with y'all money. I'm not buying shoes. I'm not buying jackets. I'm not buying anything but what I said I'm gonna buy. And I've always, if the only thing you have to do is go to my shorts, because I've been doing it for the past 3 years, I always show what I buy with my money. I have no problem with that. I actually like to itemize what I buy with y'all money, so y'all can't never come at me and be like, that nigga did this, that nigga did that. Nah, I did exactly what the fuck I said I was gonna do with the money, bitch. So, so many times we get up on here, and because I'm a heterosexual man, there's a lot of heterosexual hate in African American and Latino community, because so many of the men have been raised on both ends by single women, so they think like women, so they talk like women, and women identify with them or whatever. So if you don't come on, like if I got up on here, for example, and I was like, hey girl, how y'all doing? Okay, we here for the podcast. Let me tell you what happened, girl. And I did all that shit. Oh, this shit be flooded in, because that's the type of man that African American and Latin women like. They like a man they can control, a man that's weak, a man that won't speak up against them, a man that won't talk about their bullshit. They like a man like that, because as long as they can keep a man in that spot and in that position, that motherfucker will never be a challenge to them.